Howdy, friends and floorheads. We are back playing Forbidden Lands by Free League. Where are we and how did we get here? Well, it's Springwise. Four townfolk from Oakenheart left the safety of their small village and they set out to explore the lands after the mist lifted. They encountered a town where people walked in peace with the dead and where the tomb of an ancient warrior and his family loomed over. They explored Elgorod's castle, only to find the long dead king guarding the sword, now carried by Osric. They found an outpost, then rescued a child, where a demon sacrificing the young, guarded by soldiers long deceased. They came to a city in the foothills of the mountains, where the demon king's son gathered Asline tribes while consorting with fire demons and hoarding a dragon's egg. They suffered in a dwarven mine haunted by the Demon King's wife and daughter. There, one of the four met their limit and returned back to Oakenheart. Soon after, we met a half elf peddler who joined them with a grumpy donkey and a bag full of supplies. They tamed a party of orcs from a nearby stronghold once held by elves. They also met a dwarven archaeologist who claimed to know the tomb of a long forgotten champion with promised riches, and they set off south into a dense forest. Still mourning on the way to this tomb, they encountered a caravan of entertainers running from an unknown threat. And their a troop of jesters seemed less than mortal. As a light rain falls, keeping the ground muddy. We start with a cloudy morning with the four and their new dwarven friend on the roadside, with every intent to let the caravan pass. In the distance, Silva heard the sound of several horses approaching from the direction where the caravan came from. After releasing the bound jesters, the leaders of the caravan fled on horseback into the forest. After the opening titles, we're going to find out what happens next.
Broken hearts embrace the king, a band of heroes bold. Stand the hunter versus fair, with tales of glory told. Osric with his mighty blade, frostbite of demonic hue, and silver half-elf merchant king, their journey did ensue. Silver trades and secrets hold the smile upon her face, while Osric swings his fearsome sword in battle's fierce embrace. Through Raven's land they wander in search of ancient stones, to free the land from darkness where evil's a terror roams. With courage as their banner and hearts forever true, they seek the light within the night, their quest for me and you. Stern the hunter tracks the beast with arrows swift and sure. Vasilla sings of battles past, her voice a magic cure. In ancient halls where echoes dwell, they found a mystic sign. The stones of elves a guiding light, within their hearts align.
As we watch the caravan leaders double up on horses and take off into the forest, heading south, the direction you were going, we see them kind of vanish into this dense forest as they work their way through. We see the rope that was holding the ankles of each of these jesters kind of grow slack after it was cut. And they start to stumble and wander. And at first, you can tell that they don't realize that they're unbound. Now, I want to get a quick understanding of where everybody is. Now, I know our friend Grimhilder, our dwarven archaeologist, she's kind of hidden back into the forest. And if I remember correctly, Vasilla was there with her. Is that right?
I think so.
And do you have Vasilla? Do you have a line of sight um, to what's happening out
Um,
on the road?
I don't think so, really. I think I have line of sight to like my friends, and
Okay.
I'm basing my reactions to whatever from them.
Yeah. And Sten.
I believe I was in the underbrush as well, like a little bit forward while that conversation was going on.
Yep. And Osric.
I think I'm standing next to the wagon, looking at or I guess next to our wagon, looking at their caravan wagon.
And Silva, you're with Thundercloud on the road.
I was near Thundercloud, near Osric on the road, communicating with these people before they bolted.
Now, right when we left you, you had just started to hear the approach of several horses, and I don't think you had communicated that to anybody. So if you want to do that, you can.
No, I had brought that up when we were negotiating with
Oh, you did?
The caravan owners.
Mhm.
We were
Well,
saying,
did you
"Hey, that
did you bring up
sounds
that
like
you
there's a
could
lot of
hear them
horses."
coming?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, I
gotcha.
was specifically like, "Hey, that sounds like a lot of horses coming."
I think that's what triggered them to leave. Actually,
Got
'cause
it.
then they
All right.
bolted.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. I missed that. What are we gonna do?
Back up. Sten
Yep.
like comes out of the forest and starts heading towards the court. Back up. Gotta go.
I think I'd start directing Thundercloud to like
I was gonna say,
get off the
remind
road.
me if we believe we were we crossing this road, or were we actually intending to follow this road in one direction or the other?
So according to Grimhilda, she wanted to continue south. So this was a crossing of this road.
Okay.
This road was going east-west.
Okay.
We intersected this road when we were traveling.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that I remembered right.
Yep.
If we have a place to go, let's keep going. I don't want to be here when they figure out they can run free.
Yeah, Silva, give me a move roll real quick. Let's see how quickly you can kind of redirect Thundercloud and get her back into the forest.
Okay. Not my best, but not my worst. I'll push it.
Starting off
Okay.
with a bang.
Might as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Go.
There we go.
Perfectly balanced.
So what's the initial struggle, and how do you get through this? How do you push it?
I think Silva probably just kind of takes a second, is getting wrapped up in everything, kind of looking, watching, seeing what the clowns are gonna do, and just kind of isn't taking their eyes off them, and starts leading Thundercloud, and maybe trips over herself and kind of pulls herself back up, and come on, Thundercloud, let's move.
And you have to kind of move forward to rotate and turn this
Yeah.
wagon, right? And we see, you find a spot between the trees, probably where you came through, and Thundercloud kind of, all right, just kind of works his way in. I think it's some of the jesters in the front that suddenly walk past where they would have been allowed to walk if they were still tethered. And we're seeing them stay out of the forest, kind of stumbling. There's about 12 of them, 15 of them, hard to tell. You're seeing the wagon shake as
Empty wagon?
the jesters start making some grunting noises. They seem to be causing a reaction to whatever's inside the actual caravan wagon itself. As best as you can tell, Silva, you might be 20 to 30 seconds away from whatever these horses are, kind of turning the corner and getting within visible range. I've got the caravan roughly about 30, 40 yards ahead of you. And then the turn is a good 100 yards ahead of you. So you can see a good 100 yards of this road, with the wagon being about halfway between where you are and where the turn is, blocking your sight.
And we've decided it's time to leave. We're not going to find out
That's
what
certainly
happens with
my
party
opinion.
A. Party A
Yeah.
meets party B. All right.
I mean, I would rather not be in sight when they get here. Let's put it that way.
It's time to go then. And I'm going to go over to Brunhilde, and if she hasn't completely packed up her things, I'm going to help her collect herself.
I'm not done. I'm not done. No, don't touch that. That's not.
You're
No.
We're moving on. You'll look in the wagon, and I'm gonna move her towards the wagon. to help
Wait,
her into the.
Don't forget those
cart.
things. Don't forget those papers are important. Get those.
I'll grab the papers.
So you're able to kind of shepherd her into the wagon. You have time. So as you kind of push deeper into the forest, you now are watching all of this through several trunks of trees as a kind of a block. And so you're only catching glimpses, right? You're seeing these bodies of these jesters and these decrepit jester outfits kind of stumbling. We hear the of the hooves. As these horses turn the corner, it's really difficult to get a clear view. Sten, I think you're able to maneuver a little bit to see there appears to be 6 horses. As they've turned the corner, which then brings them into visible sight of this caravan, they have started to speed up. You're seeing flashes of reflections, making you think maybe they have armor. Over the constant sound of the hooves, you hear a booming voice come from one of the men riding these horses. They're unholy, take them down. And through the slots of these trees, you can see these 6 men just run over and slaughter and cut down these jesters. Jesters are not fighting back. They're overwhelmed immediately. They're not trying to run. They're not trying to fight. And it's just a wave of violence that comes from down the road. I think there's more on the wagon. There's no sign of jesters standing anymore. As they start to work their way back to the wagon.
Anything that these guys have as far as banners or insignia or anything? I will try to sneak a little bit closer if need be to try and figure out who they are.
Let's do this. Yeah, give me, if you want to get close enough to really see any kind of insignias and banners, I'm good with either scouting or stealth, whatever you prefer. Kind of changes the approach either way.
I mean, they're functionally identical to me. I think I will use stealth because I'm kind of more interested in staying unseen at this point.
So give me a +1. You're in the forest. There's a lot of activity and noise happening on the road that gives you a ton of cover.
Okay. It's going to be like that, dice.
We're starting it off good.
Okay.
What happens as you work your way through? Where does the 2 damage come from, do you think?
Well, I'm going along pretty well, you know, keeping low, keeping crouched down, and then I managed to get my foot snagged on a root as I go forward, and it's like I don't manage to make any noise, but I kind of twist my ankle getting it out, and so I'm going to be limping a little bit.
So Sten, you're working your way through, you're staying low, you've got a ton of cover here in this dark forest. And because it's cloudy and because of the, you know, the overcast and the light rain that's coming down, it makes this forest much darker than it should be at this time of day. You get close enough, you see 3 of the men have now gone off their horses. They're towards the back of the wagon. Looks like they're going to try to open the back of this wagon. You notice one of the shields. It has an insignia of rust on it.
Shit. Well, I'm going to wait and see what happens to them. I'm hoping something will happen to them.
They start to coordinate. There's one on either side of the wagon. They're holding the back door. Two of them are mounted. One is standing there and he's holding a sword with his shield, maybe 10, 15 feet away. You pull open this wagon door, and like sand out of a sack, just more of these jesters pour out of the wagon. And there's no fight. It's a slaughter as they cut down and sever them. They seem to be very focused on beheading these jesters.
It's the only way to take care of a zombie.
Yeah. Well, I think once it becomes clear that there is nothing in there that is going to pose any threat to them, I'll start making my way back to the rest of the group.
Make your way back. Maybe as you're coming, and Vasilla, Ostric, and Silva, you're standing there trying to keep Thundercloud quiet. Freaking Grimhilda wants to start pulling her papers out again, and we're trying to keep her sated, at least. As you're watching Sten walk towards you, from behind and beyond him, you see the fire. Where the wagon is or was.
As soon as I get within sight of them, I'm just going to start gesturing, let's go forward. And when I catch up, I just kind of look to the group and say, Rust Brothers.
How many?
Half a dozen. Armed and armored on horseback. Cut them things down like they were wheat.
Are we going away from the road, obviously, but is that the same direction as the ex-caravan masters?
It's not. It's the opposite direction. So you are headed back north from where you
I
came
thought
from.
I thought
did
we
you-
were going south. My thought was that we would go south the way we were originally.
That's
Well,
fine.
we
If
had
you
to
wanted to,
cross
I didn't
the
realize we
road
crossed the
to
road.
do that, right? So I thought we had backed up away from the road. I
mean,
had the
if
same
we-
understanding as Craig.
Okay.
Oh, I thought the idea was that we were turning ourselves to go in the direction to where we were originally heading, right? So
Well, we were already
we were-
facing, in my mind, we were facing that direction, which was south. The
Mhm.
road cut across, so we were heading south. The road cut across, so we'd have to cross the road into the woods on the other side to keep the direction we were going.
Yeah,
I'm
I
fine
felt
either
like
way.
we had enough time to do that, and that
Maybe.
would have been my suggestion.
If we did, then we
but,
could have.
you know,
Running around a
yeah, I
I
think
don't-
I had envisioned us on the south side of the road.
yeah, same here.
Great.
I
So
was,
let's
I
have
was with
let's
Dave.
have you
I was
there.
on the north side. But I'm okay with
You know
going
what?
south.
Let's do this. Somebody roll me a
We need
D6.
to talk better.
A 4, 5, or 6. You're on the south side of the road. Who's gonna roll my D6 for me?
Not that.
channel favorite, Brian.
Nope.
Okay, you're on the south side.
All right, cool.
You're
I'm
on
okay
the
with that.
north side, you're on the south side.
So we start to continue south, slower than we would, because we're trying to stay quiet. Just like before, Silva, as you move into this forest, it's getting harder and harder to find spots for this wagon. It's really slowing you down because you can't just go straight. You have to find gaps in these trees that'll accommodate this wagon. But you guys continue headed south. From behind you, you can hear the burning wagon. And you also hear the horses take off to the east, continuing the direction they were headed.
The enemy of my enemy. I feel it's unfortunate for the caravanners.
Well, if they were traipsing around with a bunch of dead folk, I'm not sure they were especially good guys.
You know what
Yeah.
we've learned in these 2 weeks away from home? Everywhere else is weird.
It's been a month now, right?
I take it you're familiar with the Rush Brothers then.
Hmm.
We've encountered a few.
You?
Not personally, no. I've heard of them, but yeah, they certainly. I could see where they might not leave the most friendly first impression.
Hmm. And what do you know of the Rust brothers?
Uh, I know that there's usually some presence in most of the villages that I've been through. Other than that, not a lot. Usually keep to themselves unless they're doling out orders or bullying someone.
So I think we have burned up. So we traveled a hex, and then we had all of this. So let's put us into the second quarter of the day. What are we thinking here for the second quarter?
How sure is our guide about the reading of the markings? For a little while, she was getting unsure. Then she was like, "Oh no, for sure, this is right." But where's she teetering?
So I'm envisioning she has hopped off the wagon at this point. She's staying in front of the donkey. I don't know if she's going to be as far ahead scouting as Sten is. She seems to be constantly shuffling through papers, right? So it'd be nice if she had a map. It would give you a lot more faith that she knows what she's doing. But she keeps flipping through and no. Then this will, and then she might stop and kind of look around. She goes, definitely this way, definitely this way. I wouldn't go as far as to say you have complete faith, but she doesn't appear lost.
Okay. She's following sign, then the sign is suspect,
Right.
but she's not like, oh, I have nothing to go on.
Yeah, no, she seems to know where to find this apparent dwarven champion's tomb.
And now that we know we're going south, are we heading more or less in the direction that the caravan folks were, or are they kind of
Difficult to say. They kind of
Yeah.
vanished into the forest, right?
okay?
I
Not
can
seeing
tell
any
you,
sign of their passage?
you haven't. They had a nice little
That's
head
fine.
start on you. They took off before the Iron Guard showed up, before the
Mhm.
burning of the wagon and the destruction
No.
of this caravan.
I'm fine with that. Just if we're going to catch up to them, I would like to have some advance warning.
Understood. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go. So it sounds like we're going to continue heading south.
Yeah, I think so.
Seems
If
to
that's
be.
where the path leads.
So we'll have to actually go southwest. To your southeast, to your south and to your southeast are mountains. It's a continuation of the mountain range that leads to the Stone Loon mine. So if you're okay, we'll go southwest.
Okay.
Seems fine.
All right.
There are letters there. There must be something important.
So
Big S.
as you head to the southwest, we are now in a situation, I think, where normally we would be able to travel 2 hexes per day per quarter. You are slowed down now, especially with this wagon, that you're at half speed at best. Most of the foliage is above your head, so it's not a situation where you're having to pull away the tree branches and the brush as you're going. Most of the weeds and bushes and stuff at the bottom of coming up from the ground are coming to roughly halfway up your calf. And you continue to weave your way through. What do you think is top of mind for you, Vasilla, right now?
So I think the thing that's on my mind right now is, I think I'm thinking it back home. I think I just have a little bit of like, oh my god, right in my head. Word that means thinking about the past fondly.
Nostalgia?
Thank you. Have a drink. Try again. Anyway, so I have a bunch of nostalgia about back home, and I think Aldrich, and I think kind of thinking about like the hell of a last month that's gone on, right? It's like the first time that we've been like actually chill and not had to make choices in a long time. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever like long trail hiked like for a week or whatever, but like when you're just walking along in a row and you're not in charge of like guiding or paying attention or anything, your brain just is like way into just like wandering around about everything. So I think it's just kind of like a reconciliation period about like what's been a crazy hectic pace for her.
And I'm imagining that Silva probably needs help at certain points, helping push a wheel over a log, and really helping Thundercloud get through this uh, get through this area.
I assume Osric does that, and I just get off.
maybe they ask you to get your ass off the wagon.
I don't know. I don't know if she has that much weight.
Grimhilda, as you've been navigating, seems to be oblivious to the fact that tree gaps in the trees that she can walk through aren't necessarily the gaps that the wagon can make its way through. So there's times where she kind of wanders to your left and to your right until she realizes that she has to come back. For the first time, she stops and she kind of looks around. We're close. We're close. And she
That's
just starts
good.
heading. She just takes a hard right turn. Starts heading west, completely disregarding the fact that Silva, the wagon, and Vasil and Osric, if you stay with them, are going to be able to keep pace. Sten, you recognize as you because she's not being quiet. She takes off herself.
Hold up! I'm yelling at her.
She's not interested in that, but I'm thinking maybe if you want to give me a manipulation roll.
Oh, sure, I'm great at interpersonal skills. I certainly don't have anything that lends to that.
Just shoot her.
Get back here, or I will
Look
give
at
you
you two.
Don't think
heaven.
crossed my mind.
So you yell at her, and she stops, and she goes, "There's a clearing. There's a clearing up here.
There's a wagon with all of our arms and armor and people on it.
I'll meet you at
Let
the
it get
clearing."
around there. You don't know who else is there.
Oh. Okay, I'll wait
Uh-huh.
here.
Good plan.
Do this nice and easy, like we know you're excited.
It's
So
not going
eventually,
anywhere. It's been here
gotta
for
get-
100 years.
We get the wagon kind of turned to take a right, working our way through this dark forest. At this point, any exposed areas, your hands, your forearms, if they're exposed, you're starting to get like the scratches of working your way through the forest. Nothing damaging, but it's just right. Your feet are squishing further and further into the ground as this rain continues. So even though you don't really feel the rain hitting your head, it's a light rain. It's softening the forest floor, the ground. When you catch up, she darts off again, staying within sight. She actually is conscious of it after what Sten said, looking back to make sure you can see her and she can see you. And she goes into a clearing. It's not a large clearing. Maybe 20 foot in diameter. It seems to be at kind of a foothill of where we're starting to see us transitioning into the mountains. She pulls a brush aside, and you see that she has found what looks like some sort of stone monument stuck in the ground. And then she points, and as you break into the clearing, you can see what looks like an entrance, a cave entrance into like a foothill, but it is covered in rubble and stone. He's there.
And
This is it. Look. Little one, come here. Look.
I'll go.
And she's pulling the brush away and showing you on this little marker, the stone marker, which is worn with age. And it's a little hard to see. Give me your hand. And she kind of rubs your hand up against it so you can feel the relief. This is it. This is it. He's under there. Oh my God! I found Garmar. I found Garmar's tomb. And she's getting a little emotional.
Yeah, you
Out of
did.
excitement.
You found it.
We have to clear this. We have to clear the stones. Let's clear the stones. You, the big one, the big man. And she's pointing at Oscar. Come. Let's clear these stones.
Before I start clearing stones, I just want to make sure that I take stock of the general like there's nothing around or anything that would, you know what I mean? Just give the clearing a once over to make sure that we're quote unquote secure.
Yeah, and time's not a factor here. Because by herself, she's not going to clear these stones for. It'll take her 2 days to clear these stones on herself. So, I don't see any reason to roll here. You, and I'd imagine Sten as well are kind of doing a perimeter check. Anything here? You take a look at what is obviously stones were placed here. This is not like a collapsed entrance. It looks like it was being blocked and covered. Because there's no indication of a break it above it, right, where the stones fell to cover it here. So, Ostrich and Sten, there's no indication of any type of threat. You appear to be alone here in the forest.
Okay.
And you said that essentially it looks like someone piled these stones here to block the entrance?
That's your best guess. There's no place where we can really see where these stones would have come from, right? If this was a natural collapse or blocking.
I think he'll at least mention that out loud and suggest, it seems someone put these here. Are you sure we should be disturbing this place?
I'm sure they were protecting. She's like lifting stones. I'm sure they did it to protect.
Use your legs.
She's got little legs. She's a dwarf.
You hear, she's more pushing stones, and they're rolling down the embankment of the piled blockage. Again, it's a tomb. I told you it's a tomb. Of course they would cover it.
That's fair. All right, I will start helping to move some of these stones to the side.
Yeah, Silva will lend a hand as well.
I'm going to
start making tea.
Yep, and I'm going to keep watch and rest my ankle.
Good job, Sten.
Oh, yeah. I can't actually heal that for you because that's not how this is.
Yeah, that's fine.
So are we going to do a rest and not a sleep there to heal that agility? Know how you're
if I
gonna spend
can,
the rest of this quarter day? Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you're
then
gonna still have
I
to
will be
sleep.
happy to do that.
Okay,
Sure, but if I can feel better.
This is
That
third
will-
quarter day, probably. Then just move the stones.
It's going to probably take us into the next quarter day. So it's going to take
Actually,
several hours.
We might consider making camp at this point.
I was going to say maybe I can just go ahead and start making camp since.
Why don't you make camp and I'll keep watch, and then.
Well, all right.
But tea.
I mean, I can start. Tea
I can
boiling.
make tea.
So we watch as Sten kind of looks at this clearing, trying to figure out kind of the best place to kind of set up camp, get the tent up. Let's do a make camp roll.
Yep, I'm just checking my modifiers. I have quartermaster, which helps.
And you've got the tent.
Yep. Oh, I didn't even include the tent. That's
How
tent
what's
is
the
one
gear
die.
bonus? I think was it 1 die or 2 die?
2 for
It's
the big
2
tent.
because it's the large.
2 for the big tent. So just roll me
All
2d6.
Mhm.
Hey, there we are.
There we
There's your
go.
Success. Okay.
This is the best tent.
So we spend the rest of
Worth
this
it.
quarter day making camp. Let's do a quick keep watch.
Yep.
It's going to be
I
a
want
scouting
it.
roll.
So when I make camp, the person keeping watch at a camp I made gets +2 to scouting. I don't know if that'll apply yet because it's happening at the same time.
Oh, I'm okay with that. Go ahead and add
Okay.
+2. That's cool.
And I put it in the modifier place, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
I'll push it, I think.
Yeah, we'll be sleeping soon, right? Nothing bad can happen with an ancient dwarven tomb.
Oh,
Dread.
We watch a bit of a montage. Silva, Osric, our dwarven friend, clearing stone after stone after stone. Sten getting camp going, starting a little fire. And at one point, Groomhilder goes, Vasilla, come.
Yo, what's happening? What's up?
She has found what looks like to be kind of a stone carving among the pile. And it's been broken apart and crushed under these stones. She goes, here, help me. And she's trying to hand you these pieces.
Yeah, I definitely take them.
Lay them out over there.
Yep.
And as you lay them out, it's almost like a puzzle.
I tucked it. Yeah.
And as you start piecing it together, give me a lore roll.
A lore roll.
Oh, Lord. There we go.
More successes will help you. That doesn't mean you need them. You will get something for one success, but you'd get more for more successes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get, because I like the way it plays in with the failing to keep watch and the push there. I think I just like super duper get sucked in.
You read a lot in Oakenheart. A lot of history books, a lot of different books. You've picked up some languages. This is dwarven by nature. It's very runic, the writings itself. But you can't make much of it out. One thing that you do pick up is you would swear that symbol with that symbol finished by this symbol. You think that says Lightbringer.
What was the title of this dwarf?
Wait, there's more pieces. But what?
What was the title? Did he have a name, like an honorific?
Oh, he
Something
was.
the bards called him?
He was a dwarf chieftain, a Garmar, a Garm. Gosh, so many different things. Garmar the Builder, Garmar the Liberator.
Anything about like light or the sun or?
There's no dwarven titles no, all dwarven titles, if anything, will be the nothing but sun. No.
I think this says Lightbringer. Do you know anything about Lightbringer?
So you cause her to stop, and she takes the last piece. And there's lots of holes, right? You don't a lot of the small areas, but you got the general shape of this kind of the stone tablet. She brings the last piece over, and let's have her take a look at it as well. So let me see if I think I've got her. I think her let's say her lore rolls she's gonna have at least 3 of them. She'll push it.
Because of course she will.
Why not?
So she's looking at it and she goes, No, you're right. Yeah, that's Lightbringer. That's odd. And these symbols down here, maybe that's light, but that's modified by this next symbol. So it can't. It's the same symbol as Lightbringer, but with this symbol following it. I don't. I don't really know, but I don't think this is about Garmar.
Hmm.
She's just kind of standing there baffled. And maybe Silva, I think she maybe is wandering back over to pick up her pack, which I'm imagining is in the back of the wagon.
Sure, this is the right tomb.
There's
She nods. But she's
Is it, uh,
preoccupied, right? You see her
old
kind of go
dwarvish or
in.
middle dwarvish?
It's old. I don't know exactly how old. Silva, if you want to go over and give it an old lore roll, you're welcome to.
Sure, why not? Silva's been around a bit.
Yeah, that's what
She's
I'm thinking
educated.
too.
Oh shit!
All right.
Well then,
Who wants a druid now?
Right?
Druids can have floor rolls.
Whoa!
When the Balrog pops out, then it'll be me that wants the druid.
So you're looking at the Silva. You confirm the
Mhm.
Lightbringer. You also see the area where she was pointing, where she goes, "This is the same symbol, but it's modified differently by this rune." And with that rune next to the other one, that's fire.
Interesting.
And the third symbol very clearly is modifying the first two, is a warning. Caution.
Now, I've gotten a couple little dwarven stories and books and such in my times and trades, and this comes across from some of the old poems as something of a warning. This
She's on the back of the wagon. She's got papers. She's picking up papers and just pulling scrolls out of her pack. And she goes, "What?
like a warning, like
A warning?"
like
Yeah.
a trap.
yeah,
So
that certainly is a
hops-
possibility.
Hops off the back of the wagon and walks over. She goes, Show me where you see warning."
Right here, this one right here. I know it's a little scuffed there, but if we kind
Oh.
of bring it to the light, I assume we have like a campfire going at this point. And
Yeah.
if you look at it here, yeah, you see that, right? And that one's
Oh,
fire.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, fire. Right. And
So Firebringer?
well that's
Warning.
no, because
Warning of the
that's
Firebringer?
light. That's light. That's what
Hmm.
light. I agree with
Okay.
I think
right.
Vasila's right. That's Lightbringer, and that's fire. And it could mean take care too. It could be a warning. I agree. It could be like be careful, take care.
Or be careful. Okay,
Right? Maybe
yeah,
we should slow. Maybe we should slow down as we pull these stones off.
yeah. Just in general, caution. Caution is always well advised.
Start like, yes.
Like the huge nods from Sten.
Look,
Just like, is anybody saying
everything in
this
this world is
about
trying
me
to
from
kill
moving
us.
rocks or no?
We're about to say, how far do you think we are there, Osric?
2 hours.
There we go,
Two
a
more
couple
hours
but-
of digging?
Well, and you're not digging. You are just literally just
Right.
pulling. And the largest boulders are maybe the size of medicine balls, right?
Right.
So
That's
it's
a
all
lot of rock,
manageable.
though.
Yeah, but that's heavy.
Yeah, that'll wear on you. Maybe we rest on what we have done now, and we take the night and come back at this with fresh eyes and well rested, and come back at it in the morning.
Yeah, Mom always
Open
said
this
do your
up.
best work after a good meal and sleep. Also,
Exactly.
I've got a hell of a headache. Is there like something in these like boulders or these trees or something? Like, oh my god, my head.
So Grimhilda hears you make this suggestion, Silva, and her head snaps to look at you, and she walks sternly over to you and looks up to you, and she goes, "We're not waiting. We found it."
Yes, and it's not going anywhere.
No, but I think we'll have this cleared in just a small bit. We've got a fire.
And it'll be dark, and
Yes.
anything that's
It is-
down there will trip over.
It is
Been
late.
here
We've been
100 years. It can
traveling
wait
all
another
day.
night.
One more night, my dear lady, please.
She is annoyed. and out of like protest, she goes back and she starts pulling stones off and realizing, you see, maybe after 20 minutes of her protest of this clearing, she's getting to stones she can't move by herself. She would need Silva and Osric to help with it.
Osric and I unionize.
So finally, she's like, she plops herself down on one of the bigger boulders that's still blocking it, and she's pulling out some scrolls and with intent is recording things. She pulls a pencil, piece of charcoal out, is writing in one of her bound books.
Look at how many new things you already have to study and record.
Silva, do you have a title? What do they call you?
Oh, I got
Sylvador,
some names for.
merchant upon the road.
Merchant upon the road. Okay. I'm recording all of this.
Make sure you get my good side.
Justice.
Out of curiosity, Craig, do these rocks that they've been pulling out, do they just look like rubble, or are there things carved on them that they were part of something else?
Just rubble, which I think was what made the pieces of this stone tablet stand out so much, right? Is
Okay.
that this doesn't appear to be a collapsed tower or anything like that, but
Okay.
maybe because we're kind of at the foothill of the mountains, it wouldn't be that far to be able to find these types of rock, but it was brought here for sure.
Okay.
All right, third quarter of the day. Grimhilder has finally given up and is clearly documenting what's happened. And she seems to be asking Silva a lot of questions. And where did you come from?
Oh, I've been what was, good lord, my brain just stopped working.
I know that feeling.
Amber's Peak?
Amber's, yes, I've been residing in Amber's Peak for many a year now.
That's east of here, right?
Yes,
East
yes.
of the mountain pass?
Yes.
Amber's Peak.
With the Acelines.
Those are the horse riders.
Yes, lovely people.
And she just is indignant towards you. She's documenting all of this.
I'm giving her everything.
And the nicer you are in her response, like you're not in kind, and it's frustrating her even more.
I'm just taking this like a personal interview.
In her warped mind, you can just tell that she's putting you into the permanent record.
This
She's
bastard elf.
documenting this. This is being written down.
Having
What
a
are we
cup
gonna
of
do this
Basila's
third-
tea.
Third quarter day.
I mean, I'm happy to take a rest if you want me to keep watch while everybody else sleeps.
Yeah,
Seems
I
reasonable.
definitely could use a snoozer.
All right. Well, your call.
I guess if
Yeah,
you
you're
two want to go
supposed to do it.
down, Osric and I can keep watch and hang out and tell stories to our dwarven archaeologist.
All right. Seems reasonable.
All right, so instead of Vasilla, let's do a full quarter day sleep between Osric and Silva. Who's going to keep watch?
That probably falls onto Silva, I would imagine.
Probably.
Keep watch is survival, right?
Scout.
Okay, so we got 4 on that.
I'm not great at that.
All right.
Oh no.
We'll have Silva do
Well,
that.
take your helmet off.
If
Still
you
not
do
great
have to do it, take your helmet off.
Slightly better.
Keeping watch. Well, we'll push it. Why not?
Okay.
There we are.
What's
Hopefully
happening
nothing
here?
happens.
Do you think, Silva? Are you distracted? What's going on here? What's the push?
I think our archaeologist is starting to slightly get on Silva's nerves a little bit. She's asking a few too many questions, and Silva is legitimately trying to like be helpful and listen, ma'am, please. Let me go tend to my donkey, and I will answer the rest of your questions.
How
And
long
your
have you been
your
a
grandmother's mother. What was her name? Your
historical
grandmother's mother on your mother's side. Her full name. Don't walk away from me.
And Silva just
exactly
walks away.
did your anti-historical artifact trending start? Was it something that happened to you as a child?
So this is exhausting. By the time we get to the very tail end in the evening hours of the 8th of Spring Wane, she finds a spot next to the tent, not in the tent, and she goes to sleep. Sten and Vasilla awake, and Osric and Silva go to sleep. Let's do a keep watch from either Vasilla or Sten.
I'm
I've got
happy to
nothing
do
else
it.
to do this turn,
All
but
right.
if you want it, you're good at keeping watch also.
And Osric, I'm sorry, I should have said you technically have a quarter day here.
Yeah, I don't think I have a particular task. I think he'll essentially assist with keeping watch, and maybe
Distract the
sharpen-
archaeologist for me.
sharpen a sword or an axe and things of that nature.
All right.
Poking the
I will
fire to
be
make sure
happy
it stays.
to keep watch.
Alright. I probably tend to like normal life stuff. Like when I in my current life, I think it was like adulting. Like cut my nails. I sew the like holes in the tarp that have like happened. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like things that need to be done.
Upkeep.
Right.
Self maintenance.
Do I have a bonus on keeping watch? I have so many bonuses on so
Well,
many
you
things.
made a camp, so you get that.
Yes.
Did make a camp.
You're right. I have the 2 bonuses. That's what I'm thinking of.
I forgot about the bonus from the camp. Whoopsie.
We got great sight lines here.
Oh, hey.
Instead of this all pretty uneventful evening, this forest is louder than the grasslands at night. It tends to keep you a little bit more on your toes, Sten. There's more wildlife out there. You'll hear a noise, you'll hear a branch break, and it gets your attention, and then you realize that was just some squirrel or something. Is there any concern about the Iron Guard, or Sten, do you feel like you guys are pretty safe that they headed off?
I mean, I didn't get any sense. They were clearly following the road, which doesn't look like it comes anywhere near here. They didn't hint at anything that suggested that they, saw us or wanted to follow us. That said, we found those jerks all over the place. So
Yeah.
I'm aware that it might be somebody, but probably not that particular group. That said, if I hear horses in the distance, that'll get my attention.
So I'm gonna have you wake up before Osric. Starting to see light break through. Let's do a little weather action.
The weather.
All right, we've got the rain stopped.
Oh, thank God.
That's nice.
The actual sun is starting to beat down, warms you up immediately as you get up. Sten isn't immediately visible. I'm sure he's out and about doing rounds, maybe outside of the clearing in the forest itself. Where does Silva find Vasilla as Silva wakes?
I think that I'm by the fire, probably getting like breakfast ready or, morning coffee or something. Like I just imagine that I'm just kind of like playing house, like overnight, like just doing something, making a meal, like prepping food, kind of things.
Grimhilda gets up. She seemed to have slept off her attitude. Seems to want to help you, Vasilla. Kind of get prepped and just what can I do? What can I do?
Oh, good morning. Well, first of all, we need whatever. Like, these dishes need to be cleaned before we have dinner or breakfast. I've got the fire going, the tea's going. Take a cup of coffee with you.
And she helps out. Let's do food and water real quick. She takes care of herself. You don't need to do either for her. Look at all those big die.
Oh,
Is
Who's
somebody carrying food for you, or are you?
No, through the
self-sufficient at-
power of
Priscilla
learning
can
how to
save
power
her
a
own
pack
food
rat.
now. The power of pack rat. Everyone can carry their own food.
Woo! Very exciting.
It'll be
Ugh.
very interesting to see if and when we get a second edition of this, how that's all
Everyone's favorite
handled.
talent.
She's being a little pushy, especially towards you, Silva, and you, Vasilla. Going, come, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this. Have you finished eating? Let's get back to this. We can break down your tent in the camp later. Let's leave it up.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I think the camp stays up for now.
Yeah.
Depending on how long this
before-
takes.
Yeah, I think Osric is on board. I think that curiosity is getting the best of him today. We're gonna go. You know, he munches on his leavened bread and bacon and carries his cup of coffee over to start moving some rocks.
Before everybody starts with the rock things, I would like to just kind of take a look over what they've exposed so far and just see if I see anything that looks like it might be a trap or a pit or a, loose rock, because
Yep.
the warnings make Sten nervous. I mean, everything makes Sten nervous.
let's do a survival roll.
That's
Okay.
what we appreciate about Sten.
That's what I appreciate about you.
Yeah. Let's see. That's only for hunting. That's only for making camp.
Yeah,
Okay.
I suppose I should say that I'm at least being careful to not, miss tripwires or, other nonsensical things that would be non-magical ways of making me have problems.
You're looking around, Sten. Everything looks natural. Everything looks fallen. It sounds like Ostrich and Silver kind of giving you space.
Yeah.
To allow you to do that. Grimhilder doesn't seem interested in waiting for you, but she can only do so much by herself. As you're looking through the stones, you hear a click, a clack maybe, and suddenly you hear Grimhilder, Horn's hand! Oh! And you see her pull back, and she's holding her finger.
What happened?
I let the stone fall, and she's holding onto her finger. Oh
but it sounded like something like mechanical almost.
no! You go
Oh,
over
it's,
there
it's,
and look
it could
at
It's a
just
rock
be
slip.
all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
She does it, and after maybe a good 10-15 minutes, Stan, you feel pretty comfortable that there's not tripwires or
Okay.
everything. Just looks like someone just piled a ship ton of rocks here.
Okay.
You got to keep a good grip on those, Miss Grimhilda. Let me show you what a good, strong elven grip is like. Start lifting stones.
Once again, we're pretty amazed at the fact that Silva is as strong as Osric, despite her build not nearly being what Osric is.
It's all about
Stone's
leverage.
clear,
It's the backpack.
and as we get another hour or two into it, Silva, you're the one, you pull one stone off, and you feel the draft, and you see the darkness.
It's like we're in.
Definitely come over at this point to see what.
Well, yeah, Grimhilda is pushing you,
Right.
anybody, to the side, and she's climbing up there, and she's got her hands on the two areas where you've cleared it out. She's looking.
Priscilla, dear, could you get a torch for us?
Yeah, of course. I think I have a torch from one of you people.
Oh, I don't have any torches.
I
also
do.
have no
You
torch.
can have one of mine.
You also have no torches, Silva. What?
I have a lamp.
Ah, a lamp.
You can have one of my last torches.
So
I
we
have
light
torches.
the torch,
I could get you some torches.
and it just takes another 30 minutes to pull away enough rock for everybody, maybe with a bit of a ducking down, to work their way into this. It's immediately apparent as the torch goes in at first that this goes down. You recognize carved steps, and the darkness is giving you about a 5-foot lead from the torch, or the light from the torch, I'm sorry, is giving you about a 5-foot lead.
Do we recognize the and I don't know if I could even know. Does it does the handiwork seem similar to the stone loom mines? Does it feel dwarven cut? Does that make sense? Or
Ish. I
am
don't know
I
if you.
not enough? Do I not know enough to know
Yeah,
the
I don't think you
difference?
get a strong sense like these were the same dwarves,
Sure.
right?
Mhm.
But it's definitely not natural, right? This is definitely steps that were carved and built to go down into whatever's below.
Oh, good, more stairs.
So tell me about this chieftain again.
So he gathered the dwarves, brought them together, helped with the just come, and she's pushing ahead and trying to go down there. So there's really, it's going to be single file. So she's insisting on being first unless someone protests.
No,
More
that's
power to her.
And who's following her?
Osric, do you want to stay nearby?
yeah. I'm trying to decide if I need a torch in front of me, or if that's like there's. How about we give her the torch? How does that sound?
She'll take it without it.
Yeah.
She would love to have the torch.
I'd imagine she wants the light source.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll go next then.
I'll be behind Osric with my my trident.
Where's Sten and Fasilla?
I'm happy to be in the back.
Unless you're leaving
Or
me up at
I'll
the
be in front of
caravan,
you
that
if you
makes me
want. Yeah.
Next.
So we're leaving camp. We're going to leave Thundercloud up there.
Fine.
He's not attached to the wagon, right?
No, he would have been unhitched at some point.
Is he smart enough to bray or something if something nasty comes out?
Yeah, he's a capable beast. He will alert if there's danger, and he's quite strong.
It's only about a story's worth of stairs. Maybe you're going down 10 foot, getting deep enough where the temperature changes. It cools a little bit as you get deeper in it. Maybe as deep as maybe someone's root cellar, or a little bit deeper. We see ahead her holding the torch up.
Jeez, I thought you meant ahead.
Give it time.
We see 5 heads.
She reaches the bottom of the steps and walks forward. Ostrich, you're right there. You have to kind of lean down a little bit. And you're taken to a stone carved room. The floor has a shine to it. It's reflecting off of the torchlight. There are runes carved vertically in columns along all the walls. There appears to be a small raised, maybe a 5-foot long area on the floor, which she immediately is gravitating towards. I don't need a roll for this. Osric, the fact that the braziers are lit seems odd. There's
Yeah,
two
it does.
braziers on 3 of the walls, 6 braziers total against the walls, and they are lit. This is it. He's under here.
And I'm sorry, he's under what now?
So on the floor, it appears a small raised area, maybe the top of this tomb.
Okay.
She's not trying to push it to open it or anything. She's very focused on clearing away any of the dust and trying to read the ruins. She's almost straddling it like she's riding it like a horse, and just her face is right there. She's just kind of, and just you can hear her breathing is increasing as she's starting to get very excited. This is it. He's under here.
There's
You
no
can have.
other-
I would just want all the books. You can have whatever other things they buried with him. I just want whatever scrolls or books are under here. But this is definitely him.
There's no other exits out of this room right other than the stairs we came down.
No. Maybe about 15 foot in diameter. Osric, you can't stand up straight. You have to kind of tilt your head to the ceiling. Same with you, Silva. Sten, even though I don't think your head is going to hit the top, it's like a helicopter.
Right,
thing.
you can
just
feel it,
instinctively.
That's a little too close.
Right there.
Oh, fudge. Does it strike anyone else as odd that these torches have stayed lit this whole time?
Yeah, I don't love that, especially
Or
with the
brazier?
warning fire from the inscription.
I'm gonna go over and just kind of take a look at one of those braziers, see if I can tell what's in it. Is it like charcoal? Is it wood? Is it some mysterious eldritch substance? Is it the skulls of his
Okay.
enemies? You know.
You go to one of them, and you've not seen this particular style right
Mhm.
before, but it's a cup, right? And you would expect there to be coal or some sort of wood kindling, maybe soaked cloth would be at the base of this. As you get closer, you can feel the heat of the fire.
Mhm.
Kind of get up on your tiptoes, trying to kind of look down through the fire to see what's burning. There's nothing there. This brazier seems to be containing fire.
Well, good news is they haven't figured out a way to make coal last forever.
That's
Bad
Good.
news is these things are apparently burning nothing.
Can I read, like, whatever she's trying to read on the lid of the sarcophagus raised platform? Can I try to figure out what's happening possibly before she, like, pushes it off?
Yeah, and to be clear, and I'd give you a warning. She's not trying to move anything. She is just engrossed in all
Yeah.
of the carvings that are on this lid.
Yeah.
That's flush with the ground.
I got a bad feeling, guys. And you know that I'm normally pretty
Enthusiastic.
enthusiastic. I don't.
What's it say there, Grimhilda? Anything interesting?
Yes. This is the tale. This is the tale of him building the tower, the tower that Lightbringer. That could be it. The fire that he lit at the top of the tower to gather the dwarves. That makes sense to me. I've not seen anything about it. I'm just seeing talk of the tower. It was legend that there was a large fire at the top of it, but and she just kind of continues going. She goes, let's here, come here. And she's now pushed herself to the side and she tries to give it a shove before anybody can stop her, and it doesn't move. I need help. Let's slide
Sure.
it.
Sure, you want to disturb this tomb of the noble dead?
What are you afraid of?
Lady, yesterday we saw a parade full of dead clowns. And I've seen a lot worse than that in the last month.
She kind of shakes her and she goes, that you are too warned by the evils of men. This is a dwarven tomb.
Yeah, remember you said that, if you live long enough.
We saw some dwarven skeletons in the mine, if I recall correctly.
I'm pushing the button. We're gonna find out what happens in here, because I think she's gonna get this thing moved one way or the other, and I feel like Osric feels like he would rather be here when it happens than not be here when it happens.
I think as Osric goes to push, Silva. I'm Silva. That's me.
You're
I
the
have
other
my
one.
Trident, I have my trident like at the ready, just like
Oh, you've drawn weapons. Okay.
I've had it out. I'm Silva's learned.
Silva's
We're
not messing
we're not going underground without the trident out. I got the pokey stick ready.
I see that Sten has drawn his bow. Priscilla?
Is there I'm blocking the room, right? And you said there's dwarven runes etched into the columns. Is there like a fresco or any kind of like scene drawn into it? Just like straight writing.
Yep. And everything. This is a finished old tomb. So this was built. It was marked. As part of that, you look at the brazier. The braziers were meant to hold coal or some sort of, flammable. But some sort of something is keeping the fire going. Ostrich, you're going to have to kind of get on your hands and knees to give this thing a bit of a shove.
Yep, I think that's the plan. I'll kneel down next to her and I'll give it a, maybe put the shoulder or into it and give it a shove to the side.
First shove does nothing. Imagining maybe kind of reposition yourself, try to get a little bit of leverage maybe against the short wall.
Mm-hmm.
You plant your foot into the corner of that short wall, and you're tall enough that you can get your shoulder down on the floor and just kind of press with your legs, push with your shoulder. We hear that scraping noise, that stone on stone scrape. Push a little bit harder. We hear a as the air that was trapped in this tomb escapes. It smells old. It's cold. Sylvia, you're standing there with your trident, very, very focused on what Ostrich is doing. Sten as well. Sylvia, you're the first one to notice fire on the far left. It's 2, 2, and 2. The one on the farthest left jumps and joins the next one. Joins the next one. It's happening very, very fast.
Guys, the fire's jumping.
The
Get
fires
out.
are combining.
I'm gonna start moving towards the stairs and say, "Get out!"
I'm going to get out.
Priscilla goes for the to the staircase. Ostrich, you're on the ground. Silva, you're standing there.
I think Silva grabs at Ostric's like collar or whatever and just like, come on.
You're not even gonna let me see inside, Greg?
I'm visualizing just Ark of the Covenant stuff going on here. And
So
Don't
just
look directly at it.
So I assume that as this happens, like the light in the room sort of shifts around.
Oh, you recognize it immediately, right? By the time it combines onto one wall,
But
it's
it's
very
essentially
it's
that
obvious to everybody.
it's still contained within a brazier. It's just now a larger fire in
Much
one.
larger.
Is it moving any
If you're
further?
facing the door, if you're facing the stair going back up, it's on the far left wall now, combined together. And it's warming the room. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to think about it. We'll be,
Oh.
we'll be back in 10.
Yep.
Sten has worked his way to the entrance where the stairs lead up. Priscilla, you're right there, maybe a couple steps up at this point. Osric, you're on the ground. Silva is pulling at you to get you up. Grimhilda's, and she looks up at the fire and she goes, no, just keep pushing. Just keep pushing.
It's a trap.
What do you mean keep pushing? The fire has combined.
The stories of Garmar mention mastery of fire.
She's just shaking her head. This is happening very quickly. I need to know what Osric's doing.
Get her out of there.
I think he is going to, give like a mighty shove and push this thing all the way over.
Oh, jeez.
To fully open?
Fully open.
All right, you give that your last push, and it slides at this point. And she leans over and she's looking down inside. The heat is getting pretty intense. Stan, you look over at this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems to be unnaturally changing shape.
Could you give me a little more detail about that?
I will as a little more time passes. This is just the initial take. It's no
So
longer
what's,
just a burning
what's changing
fire.
shape?
Right?
The slab? Oh, the fire.
The fire itself.
Great. Fire's haunted.
Silva, what are we doing?
I'm trying to leave. Osric, come on.
There's nothing impeding you from running up the steps. You can see the daylight at the top.
Yeah, I haven't left yet, but I am still just like pulling at Ostrich, just like come on.
Yeah.
What is Brunhilde doing?
She is leaned over and looking down into the tomb, trying to reach for where she set this torch down on the floor.
Because the giant fire over there is not enough anymore.
But it's not shining into the tomb, so she's
Okay.
not able to see
Yeah,
down.
Okay.
Silva, are you pulling to the point where you're trying to lift him? So if he's trying to stop,
No, I'm just giving like a light, like a tug, just like to let him
think-
know, like, hey, come on.
I think he's gonna, get up, and I want to be between Brunhilde and the remaining fire.
okay, you have to. All right, that's fine. So you stand up. She isn't moving. Sten, you're at the door. Silva's at the door. Vasila has run up. Sten, what are Sten and Silva doing? As you stand there, seeing Ostrich just stand there between this fire.
I'm just standing there, bow in hand, but not just like, come on.
I'm not leaving Osric, so I'm standing behind him with the trident, just like
Y'all crazy.
Just
He's
a little
crazy.
bit today. So I think he's going to attempt to, from its position on his back, he's gonna pull his shield out, and sort of brace it in front of him to sort of like shield away the heat of this fire, but not. But I still want to. I want to see what it's doing.
What it's doing is extending. The top of it's extending towards this low ceiling. The bottom of it is falling down to the floor of this tomb. You're watching, and you guys can interrupt me at any point. You're watching what appears to be blackened stone forming in the heart, in the center of this flame. It begins to grow, kind of filling the center of this flame, extending down. You can hear this stone when it hits the bottom of the tomb. And you can see a crack form on the floor. So now it's almost like a pillar of stone, black stone in the center of this flame.
Fire demons are bad news.
Ostrich, let's get out of here. If it's gonna come out, we can fight it outside. We'll have much more room there to maneuver. What's Grimhilda doing?
She's trying to look down. She's now got the torch, and she's going to touch. I can see his bones.
We can see a fire monster.
It's just a pillar, right? Like it's not like
She
it
kind
doesn't
of
have arms and legs or
Yeah, she kind of looks up at this thing, and as she's looking up at it, she looks back down, and she goes, "There's scrolls and books, so many books," and she's trying to, like, she can't quite fit, so she's trying to push the tomb open more, and you're standing there, and you're starting to now see the pillar break into what appears to be legs. You're seeing shoulders start to form. You're seeing a head. And now the stone is kind of like breaking and reforming and expanding as it's going.
Is there the tomb is only like partially open at this point?
Correct.
Okay.
is this being dwarf sized or man?
Oh no.
bigger?
Much larger. And as it's forming now, it's becoming too tall for this. So you start to see its head that's, as it forms, is bending as its back extends up. It's now easily as big as you.
Craig, sometimes when you're hunting birds, you use like a blunt arrow to sort of, knock them down, knock them out without ruining the feathers and the meat. If I have one of those, do I think I could knock Grunhilda out with a good shot?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try and do that, because if she stays in there, she and probably my friends are going to die.
So you've got I would assume that you started off with a hunting arrow first.
So
You're going to,
plug that back and grab. I probably only have one or two of them.
okay.
Um,
It's going to be a short distance, so give me -1.
Fine. Mister, I went back and read the rules.
Read the rules.
All right, well, that'll offset my sharpshooter bonus.
Oh no, it sounds like you have a D8. Bonk.
Here, let's go. And dead weight.
Get
She
her,
falls-
let's go.
Her head is hanging into the tomb. Her shoulders are still on the floor. She's not going to slide in there, but she is out. She's dropped the torch.
Well,
Oh, damn
You
Nate.
hear it hit the
No.
base of the tomb. Eyes begin to form,
All right.
burning yellow.
Ostrich, grab her.
So I'm gonna put my shield back on my back. I'm gonna reach down to grab her. I'm also going to reach into the tomb and
Yeah,
grab
that's what I was gonna do.
first bookish thing that I can.
It's way too
feel.
far down.
You can't reach. I can't
No,
reach.
it's a good 6-7 foot down.
Oh, Craig, you're killing me. All right, I'm gonna
That deep.
pick her up, hoist her over my shoulder, and head towards the stairs, which I guess are now completely dark because the only torch is in the middle of the room.
No, this thing is lighting up this room. You have no shortage of light.
As
This
we
thing,
get
as it's
upstairs-
forming, as it's going through this transformation, as it's growing inside of this fire, it doesn't seem to be aware of you yet. It seems to be going through a process of formation. Give me a move roll to get you up the steps before I have to roll initiative, Osric.
Remember, you're a human.
I don't need it from Sten, Silva, or Vasilla. I just need it from you because you're trying to get her and drag or lift her and get her up these steps. So I need a successful move roll, or I'm going to roll initiative.
I'm
Human,
gonna
use not move.
I'm gonna use my human talent versatile, and I'm gonna use might to do this because I'm heaving her away
Brute force.
and making a move at this.
I'm good with that.
Sometimes I miss being a human.
Totally doesn't matter though.
Force
Complete
it.
and total dead weight as you grab onto her. You're trying to get her lifted up. This thing is forming. Are we pushing?
Yeah, we're gonna push this one.
Hey, there it is.
Oof.
She's heavy.
You
This is
finally
dwarf,
lift her up.
dense.
You're not able to get her over your shoulder, but you're able to kind of almost put her like on your hip, kind of hold her as you work your way up. The four of you plus one get to the clearing. As you exit the area that you cleared out, you're starting to now see that this is extending out, a glow coming from deep down.
So remember last time we fought a fire demon?
I do.
But this one's made of rock. It's fine.
Did you ever see the demon that Zatara was keeping in his castle?
We did. She whooped our ass.
I know
Yeah,
the three of you did. I'm asking if Silva ever saw it.
Oh, Silva? No.
I wouldn't think so either. Yeah.
No,
no
absolutely
fire
not.
lady for you.
I think the first time you saw it, because you were there for the ceremony, right?
Yeah.
First time you saw it is when it attacked the
It's
dragon,
fighting
mother
the dragon. That was
Yep.
a whole thing.
So you have seen a fire demon, but just
Yes,
far away in
technically.
the sky, in the distance.
Fighting a dragon.
Yeah.
Successfully, as I recall.
Holding its own against a dragon.
Thundercloud seems nervous. He's kind of stamping his hooves. He seems anxious. He's kind of burling around. He's not pulling at his lead that's tied to the tree at the edge of the clearing. The tent's set up.
Smart lad.
Smoke is coming from the now extinguished campfire. The wagon is tilted down.
I'm just gonna back up and hope I can get a clear shot at the opening if this thing comes up.
Oscar Silva.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we can outrun it.
I'm gonna draw rust bite.
Now that you've
Oh,
ripped
yeah.
up your arms, great timing.
It's fine. And I'm gonna set Brunhilde off to the side by the cart.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw rust bite and equip my shield. And I'm gonna basically place myself, sort of at the top of the stairs there, with enough space to swing the sword at something that were to be coming up them.
Little to the left, please.
A little to the left.
I'm going to grab the scepter.
Hey, there it is.
Oh God!
I was going to ask
okay.
about that.
Take the what is it? Agility and empathy
Yeah. so I think
Agility and
it's
wits.
and
Wits.
wits. Sorry. Let's take the damage for that as you grab the scepter.
Agility and wits. And like a fire demon almost certainly could just like burn his way out, right? Of like earthquake, like a collapsed tomb.
Might knock it over, maybe. I
The
don't know.
glow coming out is getting brighter.
Whatever, we're desperate. I'm going to attempt to slam the scepter onto the ground as I've seen Aldrich do
Hit
previously.
him with the earthquake. It is earth magic. It might
Could
hurt
happen.
this stone creature.
Just a second.
Oh, Osric.
Who
Has to
has it
push the
right
button.
now?
I had to push the button. I haven't
Yep.
pushed the button in a
Someone had-
while.
Someone had to do it. We were here. You might as well, honestly. I'm with them on
Couldn't
this
even
one.
let me have a book, like a random book.
Right. That's what I was gonna do too. I was gonna reach down there and just grab a handful of whatever, but it's 6 feet down. Oof. It's that low. Maybe the fire didn't hurt it.
All right, if you go to your gear, you have the scepter.
Okay. I shall
So
click on the
effects,
bubble, the word
let's see
bubble.
here. Yeah,
Earth
I
spell?
I sent it to chat. It's been a
I
little
see.
while. This counts
Yeah.
like the earthquake spell with a power level of D6 plus 2. No willpower points are required for this effect. Furthermore, Aldred's artifact die can be used for all rolls for upkeep in the building of new functions in the stronghold. All right. So this is going to happen, but I need to know at what power level.
So we just roll a d6, yeah?
Yep.
So it's going to be the same as an earthquake spell. It's rank 3, so you're going to have to roll at least 3 die. Damage caused. Your song is charged with so much power that you make a very ground shake and tear. You can use the spell to tear down a wall or fortifications or inflict damage on a victim. The damage caused to strength is equal to the power level.
Okay, so the power level.
So
looks
how many
like
die
D6
you're
plus
going to
2,
roll?
right?
You roll 1d6 and you
Plus
get to
2.
add the 2. So
Oh,
it'll
that's the power
automatically
level.
do the
Okay.
3.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, so let's do that first.
So it's power
Power
level
level
4.
You take the scepter, as you've seen it done before. You slam it to the ground. The tent collapses. Thundercloud takes off. I don't know how you were binding him or tying him, so either the leather tie is going to break, but he's out as the ground shakes. We see the remaining stones start to collapse in onto the stairs. You no longer see light coming out. So let's check for a magic mishap, right? So we get, what is it? We did power level 4, so is it 46?
Oh no, is that how that works?
I don't think it mishaps for the,
It doesn't?
the scepter.
Okay.
I don't think
Because
it's,
it's
it
just-
never did before.
Yeah,
Great,
because
we
you
won't do it now.
you don't roll to generate your power. It's just it is this power. It goes off. You get it once per day.
Got it.
I understand.
good.
How.
So you guys see this collapse. You no longer see the glow from coming under.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to stand here for a while and make sure nothing comes out of there.
Yeah. After a pause, Silva's gonna run after Thundercloud. Thundercloud. Kind of whistle. I assume she probably has some kind of special whistle she does to kind of like some kind of tune that she does whistles to try to attract his attention.
Yeah,
Once
give
the
me
earth
an
kinda settles.
animal handling. Let's add a die because of your familiarity.
Familiarity. Perfect. I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
My donkey. There we go.
It's a good 20, 30 feet deep into the forest. You yell once. It does not. Thundercloud has no interest. It is irrational at this point. You raise your voice. You give it a stern order, and Thundercloud stops. Still facing away, but stops running.
Come on, there's a good beast. Come here. Come on. Got an apple for you. Actually, you know what? I've got sugar for you.
So
I'd pull out
He
like a sugar
turns.
cube.
he turns and comes to you. So you're in the forest. Sten, Osric, you just saw Vasilla take the scepter, slam it down, and collapse the entrance to this tomb.
I think Sten had the right idea. We at least want to keep an eye on it for a little while and make sure that nothing decides to still come up. But
You're hearing the scraping of stone against stone.
Can we tell if it's getting closer or farther away?
It's down there. Stone is moving down there.
I'm going to look at Osric and like really look at him. Like, are you enchanted the way that like the flute enchants someone? Like, did the tomb somehow like grab your mind? Like when it said gather the dwarves, you're like dwarf blood and like like gives you a hysteria.
well, now we've unleashed this thing. We can't just let it roam.
Yeah, but we didn't have to unleash it. We told you not to. We said it felt bad. Even Sten, who thinks everything feels bad, thought this was an extra bad. And then you pushed it open all the way. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Do I believe that he is fine? I'll make a choice.
Oscar can answer that for you.
I believe that he was concerned that she was going to do this either way, and she was going to find a way, and it would be better if he were here to help her than not. So,
But you're being confronted right now by Vasila. Vasila is calling you out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll tell her that she would have done it anyway, and it's better that we're here to help than not.
We couldn't stop one crazy little dwarf. Put some rocks back. This is a later problem, maybe, if we were alive.
You're hearing more activity down there.
She's gonna be mad as hell when she wakes up.
So, do we think this is is this a fireball kind of thing, or is this like a demon that steals faces kind of thing? Because we don't know how to kill demons that steal faces, unless you figure something out.
So this is more similar to the woman than it is to the boar, but it's not the woman. The woman didn't have the stone center to her.
Right. We couldn't even hurt her.
All right, so we need magic of some kind. Okay, things seem to want my flute, so maybe I can distract it, and then you stab it with your sword. And Sten tried to distract you and give him more time as well.
It looked like stone. Maybe I can break it.
Well, the thing is, are we gonna go move all them rocks again to let it out?
No.
Well, you can.
He's already bleeding from his arms.
You can move through stuff with that flute, right?
When you're not trying to kill me or take it from me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering if you can. No, it's not worth it. I was gonna say go down and see if you can get some of them books and stuff, but
we see a rock
risk going down there,
slightly smaller than a basketball, kind of launch out from the hole.
Okay.
And land on the grass.
Is there light in the opening where that came from?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna stash the scepter into whatever a pocket so I have hands free, and then I'm gonna get out the Tizower. Then I'm gonna position opposite, like try to get Osric on the opposite side of the entranceway and be out in front to like play distraction. Vasila Rex.
Osric, you're standing there with Rustbite.
Yep.
Silva's in the forest with Thundercloud. Sten
just got the bow ready for that opening when something comes out or is visible even.
After that rock launched out, I would imagine all attention is now just focused
Mhm.
on what is now a hole that you know is not that deep, that there's rubble that collapsed on there after you used the scepter. And there's a really strange silence after we hear the thud of that large stone hit the grass in the clearing. Even to the point where the surrounding forest has gone quiet. Hold on, I gotta get rid of somebody.
I'm sorry, Greg. I didn't mean nothing by it.
All right, Osric's dead. So
Well, we're screwed then.
Take respite.
like a jump scare, everything happens at once. We see stone explode from this hole. With the heat is immediate. It hits your faces. As this thing is now standing up and rising from where that hole was. It is easily 10 to 11 foot tall. You can't tell how far down the steps it is, but it's over chest level standing there. And it's a formation of this black rock in a humanoid form with a head, burning yellow eyes, a gaping mouth with burning yellow coming out of it, and just flames are escaping from the rock and spurting periodically from the creases in the rock that's formed. I'm going to take Broom out of here. I'm going to add him. Let's do this.
It's the time.
I don't want to do this, Greg.
Sorry.
Real.
All right, give me some initiative.
Six.
Got a
Not
6
good
from
number.
Osric.
That was not the number I wanted to pull.
We're just rolling dice, not trying to play cards.
Yep, just go,
I've
yeah,
just
just
been
go to the
told
little,
not enough cards left.
go to the little dice. Go
Yeah,
into the combat
the
and
little-
just hit the
Top
dice.
left.
The little macro
No,
at 1
okay.
is no longer the thing.
Got it. Okay.
So we got Silva drew a 1, Sten drew a
There we
4,
go.
Vasilla with a 5, Osric with a 6. One of you first, then
I'm
this
The
gonna-
thing.
rest.
I'm
And
gonna
then the-
steal that one.
I
That
vote.
seems
I'm in
reasonable.
favor of that plan.
Okay, so we're gonna switch
Yeah, throw me last. Yep.
Osric and Silva.
I gotta get back there anyways.
Damn it.
Surly. A surly
Surly
fire
fire
It is
demon.
surly.
Oh no.
All right, hold on. This is
Surly.
not working. Hold on.
I mean, it's probably just annoyed that I got woken up.
It's
I
true.
mean,
Was resting fine in those 6 little cups.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had to go swooshing it around.
Someone has
I
to.
just hope she wakes up before this battle is over, so she can see that I was not making shit up.
I mean, I feel like there
You could
was
write
enough
it down.
evidence before you.
I
bonked
mean,
her.
yes, but it's amazing what you can not see if you're anxious on not seeing.
Even if she wakes up, I feel like she's gonna choose.
There was a book and a
Uh-huh.
scroll, Sten,
Uh-huh.
and a scroll. There could have been gold down in there too.
Now you're
Oh,
talking my language.
Boy.
We were gonna take that gold.
On whole gold.
Gosh darn it all. Why isn't it letting me?
Reorder things.
It's like it wanted to happen. Are we just click draggy?
I'm trying to, and it's just not working. I thought I
Huh.
remembered it would allow me to do that. Hold on. I might have it. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry about that. That's a whole lot of fun watching me wrestle with Foundry. All right, Ostric, you first.
Compelling
Yeah,
streaming, folks.
I'm gonna charge the fire demon.
Okay.
Magma.
Magma.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Can somebody just reroll initiative again?
I got it.
Okay, there we
I
go.
think Craig's messing around.
Mhm.
All right. So what are we? You're doing it as a. This is slow action.
Yes, this is a slow action. I have a talent. Let's see if I can find that talent. That is melee charge. I have it as rank 2. Which says when I move from near to arm's length, I can with the same action slash, stab, punch, or shove. This is called a charge. It's a slow action. Your attack is modified by +1 when you charge because of rank 2.
So this thing is burst from the hole. You've got rustbite. You've got your shield. You're charging in and taking a swing.
That's correct.
do it.
And I've got sword fighter, and since it's a demon, I get a D10. Is that right?
Rustbite should be right on your character sheet. Check it.
I will do that.
Chat.
I just saw the card listing of this surly fire demon. Now I understand.
Yeah, it's a surly fire demon.
Like, wow,
It's
it's
not
not
happy.
at the same time. All right.
It was perfectly content down there. Keeping
Same,
the eye
buddy.
down.
Same.
It was
yeah.
a well rested fire demon. and now it
Exactly.
is a
So yes,
surly
the
fire
artifact
demon.
die is normally a D8, but is a D10 against demons and demon-tainted creatures.
Perfect. Let's do it.
I'm
Come
pretty
on,
sure this-
Osric.
So that looks good. That does not. He's definitely going to push that roll.
Oh, I saw one on your strength too. Oof.
Whew,
You hit it.
I did hit it.
Osric.
You come in, and as you're charging this thing, the stone head just, and you hear the scraping, and as it turns its head, you hear the stone against stone as it reconfigures to turn its head, and flames are bursting from the spaces that are being created here. You come in. Talk to me about the push. What was the push?
I think it's really that it was hotter than he expected, and so that kind of causes him to back a little. But I think he's realized that he's put everyone else in danger, and he has to keep going through this. And so I think he just reiterated his force and took yet another swing at it.
You still have a fast action, correct?
Yes,
Are we doing anything with that?
I am not doing anything with that. Although I suspect I can't parry this monster.
So, what's the attack? Is it from above, from the side? What are you doing as you're coming in with the shield?
I think I'm coming in with a slash to like left to right.
It puts its arm up, and Rustbite hits its arm and cuts into this stone. And fire leaves with Rustbite, following Rustbite as it cuts through there. And we see the stone reconfiguring, but we see it react. We see it pull its arm back and open up its maw, and just fire comes out
Oh dear.
of its mouth. Are we dodging?
Yes.
Okay.
Good answer.
Are we dodging with staying up, or are we dodging and rolling?
Dodging is a move roll, right?
Oh, you can just hit dodge under combat.
Oh yeah, I bet I could.
It does work.
I think I'm gonna dodge and not stay up.
Put it
Okay.
down.
So let's do its attack first.
Not bad. Not bad.
Let's do your dodge. It's got one success. The flames come on top of you. You're down on the ground. The flames light up this clearing and just come over your head. You can feel the heat against you. Who's next?
Me, because the next part of the plan is that I'm going to distract it. So I'm going to begin playing on my flute.
Can you throw the flute to the chat real quick?
Sure can. Gear, Tizar,
All right.
Tizar, whatever it's called.
Sorry. So I'm going to need a performance roll
Okay, and I get
with a D8.
Yep. Main performance, plus a D8, right? Did you put D8 in for artifact dice?
Yeah,
Yes, 1d8, I think.
Yeah.
1D8.
Is what I had.
You people that have artifacts and use them.
No, I just got mad skills, bro.
Lies?
Ooh. Ho, 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 ho.
Okay.
Yup. Yarp.
All right. Give me just a second. All right. So let's start with its reaction. I need empathy rolls from everybody, please.
Does that include me?
That includes you.
Okay, so I can hear this.
Yep.
Just straight empathy. No
Straight empathy.
Cool. Cool.
Cool.
Bill.
Yes.
It's
Ostrich fails. Silva fails. Sten fails.
It showed me passing.
We got a success. That is apparently
Ah,
not a success.
Silva success. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I also got one.
Point. I didn't consider that. So I'm failing or succeeding?
if I remember right, last time failing was better.
Oh, shit. I don't know. I'm not going to push it.
So the beast, you got 4 successes on this.
Mm-hmm.
The beast turns to you. It tried to burn Osric. It's now stepping out. You get like the foot comes out as it steps out of this hole, and it is squarely focused on you. Squarely looking towards you. That's going to be your slow action. What do you want to do for your fast action?
I'm going to lure it. I guess our relative positions matter. I'm going to try to put some space between me and our group and the monster, but not like at a dead sprint. I'm like Pied Pipering it away from Osric prone on the ground. If
Okay.
I try.
Give me a quick move roll.
Yep. Move. That's in agility.
So you're moving, obviously, just not quite as fast.
That's fine.
Had you succeeded. Silva, I'm going to tell you the effect. I want you to tell me what you do.
Okay.
You have not encountered this flute before. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
You hear this music coming from the clearing. You're close enough to the clearing that you see for a brief second Vasilla until an opaque globe orb seems to form around where she was standing. The music's old, elven, beautiful. It sounds like lullabies, maybe lullabies that your mom would sing to you. It's very familiar. You must get this flute. What do you do? I'm moving you up the initiative order.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess against my better interests, I think I was like trying to hand Thundercloud like a sugar cube, and I just kind of let it fall. and I turn back to the clearing, and it's almost like there's just this moment of quiet, and then she just starts bolting back towards the clearing.
So you're far enough away. We're going to take your slow and your fast action to get to the clearing. Everybody sees you burst through the clearing itself. That leaves Sten.
Well, Sten is aware.
Sten also passed his empathy check.
Oh,
That's
he
true.
did. Sten, why do you think you are driven right now to get your hands on this flute?
Well, I mean, because Vasilla, despite her big talk, isn't clever enough to use it properly.
Hmm.
You know, we need somebody who understands the tactics of the situation to know how best to use the flute.
So I think your fast action gets you to Vasilla, to this orb.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to use your slow action for you to try to reach in and grab this flute
Okay,
with inside it.
you're telling me.
But you're part of this conversation. I mean, you need to
Right.
get your hands on this flute. Do you have any other thoughts?
Well, I mean, the only thing is, it sounds like this thing is overriding because, you know, the intelligent part of Sten is thinking we can fight. I can take the flute from her later. Right now, this thing is going to kill us all.
But for some reason,
if that's the highest priority, then
yeah.
yes, I
So
will.
and I'm not sure how Sten is squaring this circle in his head, but we've got to get this flute.
Mm-hmm. I think on some level Sten is thinking, you know, that the flute is making it angry, and I need to make her stop playing it. And the easiest way to do that is to get it out of her hands. So yeah, I will try and grab it from her.
I'm thinking this is going to be a move roll,
Okay.
Not sleight of hand.
not sleight of hand. Not she's not trying to be sneaky.
All right. Well,
It's 2 successes. I need a might roll from you, Vasilla.
A might roll. Can I use my halfling talent hard to catch to avoid being grabbed? It normally applies to physical attacks.
Yep.
So I'm just going to dodge out of the way with 2 willpower points to cancel his.
Nice.
okay.
She almost slides away from you, Sten. It
God
feels like
damn
this
it.
orb is floating away. She's going, Vasily, you're still continuing your mission. You are still pulling away from the group. The straight line no longer crosses, the straight line between you and this demon no longer crosses Sten, or no longer crosses Osric. You are still successful. Do you know what's happening right now, Vasilla? Do you understand?
Halfway, partly, kind of. Like, I know that Sten abnormally wanted the flute last time. I know that it has some kind of mind control powers.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that I was hoping that it would work on just the monster, Sten knowing that it was coming, but kind of. And I know that makes me like intangible, and I don't know if things can hit me or not. I think the boar, when I ran into the random boar in the forest, like just went straight through me and it tried to attack me, but I don't remember exactly. Dave does not remember exactly.
Yeah, no, that's correct. So, top of the order. Who's going first? We've got 1 person slot.
I would still like to go first.
I think it's still Osric.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Oscar, behind, like you're on the ground right now.
Yep.
All of this is happening behind you. You're able to kind of block out the music is beautiful, but you almost were set on fire by the breath that came out of this thing. You're able to keep that together. You use a fast action to stand.
I'm gonna use a fast action to stand, and if I'm still within arm's reach, I'm gonna stab at the
You are.
thing again here.
It's now kind of to your side, slowly lumbering towards Vasilla.
Sword fighter. And let's roll better.
Oh.
Not a lot better.
That was a 7. I got excited.
That's I feel like that's what he's got. He's not pushing that roll because
Mhm.
I don't want to fall over from pushing rolls.
Reasonable.
You swing again, and this demon, focused, walking towards Vasilla, puts its hand up, and again, and you cut into its hand. Same effect. We see the tip of Rustbite scrape against the large palm. The palm is the size of your head, and you see Rustbite cut into it. You see it draw back. You know you're hurting it. You're seeing fire just exude and spout out of whatever breaks there are in the rocks, caused by it moving and shifting and by you cutting it as well. Who's next?
I'm gonna
Oh.
use rank 2 of Path of the Blade.
Okay.
I'll toss that into the chat. And with rank 2 of Path of the Blade, once I've used all my actions during the round, I can spend a willpower to immediately attack again in close combat.
How much willpower do you have?
I have 5.
Okay, so this will take you down to 4.
And I will swing again. And surely one of these is going to spike
I
in
believe
the right
you.
direction. In the right direction and not the wrong direction.
Clearly.
That's
Not
not
this
it.
Not this one. But I think he's exhaustedly just swinging back and forth, resisting the heat as much as he can. And
You slice at him again. This time at the upper part of its shoulder and its arm, and it's just swinging, right, and cutting, and it's hurting it. It's pulling back from it. It stops walking towards Vasilla. You've done enough damage to it now that its head kind of turns. Are we dodge? You're out of fast action.
yeah, I don't have a dodge. I have a free parry, but don't have a free dodge.
You're not parrying this.
Nope.
Oh,
Could be the end of me.
or not.
Jesus.
Let's go.
What happens? Is it the shield? What happens here?
That's how I imagine this. Even though obviously I didn't get a parry, I think that it's really more that even as the fire comes, he basically just pulls that shield up, and it just slides right off the top and around the sides of him.
Who's next?
Let me ask you this, Craig. Is there anything I can do to snap out of this, like make another roll, spend a willpower, anything along those lines? Or is this
Yeah, give me another empathy roll.
okay? 'Cause I'm going to say if I have a chance, I'll do it. If not, I feel like Vasilla should go first.
Yeah, and your talent works here, Sten.
Yeah, I
Adaptive.
could give myself more dice, which does not
Or
seem to be
less.
what I want. No, empathy is my worst stat.
Ah,
You
well,
don't say.
shucks.
It's like, let's find a way to make this a lore check.
Hey, he fails.
Oh, thank
Good
God.
job.
I pushed no.
You see the fire
Mhm.
come. You see the flames wrap around Ostrich as he's holding it here. You've seen Ostrich damage this thing. Vasilla, the orb of around Vasilla is floating away from you.
Right.
Piece together to me how failing this empathy roll gets you back on track.
I mean, I am so angry at Vasilla right now for keeping that flute from me. And I can't get to her. I can't reach her. She's intangible. And this thing is trying to kill us. And nobody was listening to my warnings. And everybody kept worrying about that thing. And I am so angry at this thing. And it's going to kill Osric. I'm just going to shoot it. And I'll deal with her later. Yeah. So I'm going to do that.
All right, this is going to be a slow action.
Not for me.
So this is the first shot is your fast action.
Actually, I don't suppose it matters. I can shoot as a fast action, so I get 2 shots around. Is basically
Okay,
what it
great. So
describes
let's
it
use
as.
your fast action.
Alrighty. That is short bow. That is sharpshooter. That is an artifact die. Let's see what happens. Come on, dude. What is that damage on?
I think it looked like one of each.
Well, I'm not going to risk damaging the bow, so I will just swear and take a second shot.
Okay. So this will be your slow action.
Yep.
First arrow goes flying by
Mm-hmm.
as all this movement is happening as once. Its mouth is closing as you see it inhaling again. It's going.
Mm-hmm.
Arrow flies past its head.
All right. There we go.
God, that's so many dice.
Oh, that's better.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking
If
about.
it's not magical, it doesn't matter. Haha.
Yeah, probably. Does this thing look like it has any armor or is resisting the damage in any way?
Rock.
So as you pull back the second shot, so if the first shot goes, it's free.
Mhm.
I'm imagining Green Arrow just immediately like a flash of light, right? Boom. Second comes back. There's a strength that you have behind this second arrow after all of this frustration, all this anger. You've imbued it inside of this arrow. As this arrow leaves, you know that it carries death. You know what is behind this arrow. If this arrow went into one of those Iron Guard, it would have thrown it off of its horse. It hits this demon. You see a burst of flame come out where it hits, but the demon does not react to this arrow. So just mechanically, it does damage. It does half damage to non-magical
And
weapons.
that is not an armor thing, so I can't
Correct.
get past
It's
that
not
with
an
what
armor
that
That's
is.
thing.
a being of another world thing.
That is a shame.
I've got Vasilla and I have got Silva. Silva, I need an empathy roll from you.
Yeah, sure. Let's see what we got.
I need you to be more excited about it, Silva.
You got to find a way to fail this roll.
Hooray, failure!
You burst through and you come to this chaos, Silva. You see grass scorched. You see Ostrich standing there as the fire's wrapping around it. You see this thing standing and looking up as an arrow flies by and an arrow hits its neck. You're shaken from this flute. I think maybe what shakes you? What breaks here?
I think it's part of it. She didn't know what, like, she wasn't quite sure what she was doing. She just knew she had to go towards that orb. And now that she's here and the chaos of everything, it's just like sudden stimulus just hit her. And she's just like,
Hey, that guy's on fire.
Ostrich's in trouble. New priority. So with that, I think, would it be possible to try to basically throw a water skin at this thing? Being a fire, I feel like it's probably worth trying.
Sure. I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a move roll.
Okay, I can do that. Probably not very well, but we'll attempt it. Hit. Do you want me to do a water roll as well?
No, your skin is gone.
Okay.
If that's what we're doing. So you
that's...
remove all dice from your water.
I have 0 water.
We see the water skin fly from your hand. It heads right towards kind of the torso of this thing. And we see it tumbling. The cap, the cork on it is still there. And as soon as that skin touches the flame, we see the skin burst. And steam come out. Vasilla.
I'm going to stop playing the flute.
Okay.
Thank you.
We see the orb start to just disintegrate around you.
And instead, I'm going to call out to Osric and use Path of the Hymn, which I'll post to the chat. Rank 2, I'm going to spend 1 willpower and let him recover 1 strength.
Nice.
Oh, the songs can help your comrades get up on their feet even in the heat of combat.
Nice.
Using the target in combat counts as a slow action. Rank 1, you can help a broken comrade in short range to get up. Rank 2, the number of your comrades equal to the number of willpower you spend within short range, each recover a point of damage. Damn, that is cool. That is cool.
handy.
What are you
Healing.
saying to him?
So I think over like long, like these weeks and weeks and weeks of like walking together, I've just kind of like instilled in each of them like subtle like reminders of the things that they've like loved and care about, and like good memories and why we're out here and what we're fighting for. And so I think that all that like long period of familiarity and time and rest is like set up so that I can just like say a key phrase or say or like sing a little snatch of like a melody, and like it just kind of like refocuses them in a way that is like very practiced habitual, not like,
Are you just
oh,
giving
now I'm thinking
activation
about
codes?
it. Yeah, I think
assume
that
it was
I've instilled
more
mission
like,
codes.
it's all your fault. You can't die, but and let me die. You know.
Yeah,
So go ahead and heal
I-
one, Ostrich. That's really
I-
I imagine
one.
that's very halflingy. Like they're very like.
You do have a fast action still. Actually, no, you still have a fast action because the
yeah.
flute has. You're not putting away the flute.
No, I just stopped playing it. And I think my fast action will simply be to I'll hold it in case I need to dodge fire or some
Yep.
other terrible thing.
That's everybody. We're going back to the top of the order. Who's first?
Come on, Ostrich.
Yeah, I guess I'm going first.
You got this.
All right.
Don't s-
So the option is I can go first and give us the big yell. If
Big yell's
if
pretty
you wanna
good.
I
fight
like
it.
the big yell.
You think
You
you
like
can
the
take
big
one
yell.
hit, Ostrich?
It gets to go first before the rest of our team. So if I go first, I can't unbreak you in the middle of combat because I can't go again. Tactically speaking,
Well,
which is the rank 1 of Path to the Hymn, is unbreak the person that is broken.
Amazing. That's so cool.
Oh gosh.
This is Jim's call.
It's his initiative slot to give up right now.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it up. And I'll go in Sten's slot.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep mine. Why don't I think that I would like to hold back and
Well, if you're not going first, then I'll go first.
yeah, I think that's the
I
right
think that's too big. That's too
Too
much
risky.
for me.
That's fair.
Yeah, for whatever reason,
Yeah, yeah,
Vasilla
yeah.
is very is less like gambler, put all the
Okay.
eggs in the basket day.
All right, so we're sticking with Ostrich first. Ostrich, you're standing there with the shield. The flames have just now dissipated away. You can hear Sten's bow firing. I don't think you even recognize the throwing of the water skin.
I tried.
It
a
was
good
a
thought.
valiant effort. It
It
was,
was a good plan.
at least it didn't scald me.
Ugh.
So I will continue hacking at this thing with Rustbite.
Okay, this is your slow action.
This is my slow action. Oof.
One at a time. Oof.
It's plinking away is what he's doing. 2 at a time.
Just keep swinging.
This time you get to its torso. Again, we see actually a piece of rock falls off, and it's like a hot coal that rolls onto the grass in the direction off of Rustbite. And we can see this coal burning, and we see the fire just kind of just you can hear the fissure of the fire coming out of it. Ostrich?
Yeah, that's me done.
Yeah.
Save your fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably dodge.
Okay.
That's a
yeah.
good plan.
Seems
First
wise.
gouts of flame.
Yeah, this just in, he doesn't like you.
What?
I don't know
I
why.
don't like you.
We've
No.
only been friendly to this creature.
he is going to breathe on you again. So I will need a
guy's a
dodge.
one-trick
Let's do the
pony.
attack first.
So many dice.
Ooh, that one's rough.
Yikes.
Come on, Osric.
4 successes. And this is not at the -2, right?
Correct. I'm to the
Going
ground.
to the ground.
You're going right to the ground again.
I gotta push it.
Okay.
Ugh.
So you're going to take 3 damage.
Yeah, that'll break me.
What does it look like?
I think, he gets the waves of fire over him is just, it becomes too much, and I think he just falls to his knees and collapses.
Who's next?
Oh, you probably got to give me a crit. Although it may just do it on its own.
Oh, that's true. You did break, right?
Remember, fire can't cut someone's arm off, apparently.
Actually, let's hold on that. Can you look at that? Look up breaking from either fire or magic. Check that for me. Because I don't have there's different crits for different types of damage. I don't know what damage to use there. You may not take a crit here. Who's going next?
I would like to.
Not me.
Oh, he says other damage type. Hold on.
Thanks, person in the chat.
Why is it not giving me that option though?
It's strange.
Hold on.
Critical injuries.
Non-typical damage. The normal, for example, from fire, the normal critical injury tables don't apply. If you use the table critical injuries on page 199, critical
All
injuries.
right, we're gonna do this on our own. Here.
Doing it
So-
live.
That's right.
Roll it out.
199.
Other.
It's not even a table.
Oh.
Just D6 days. You're unconscious until you die or are healed.
Oh.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
So let's give me 1d6 there, Osric.
Man, imagine all the arm Aldrich would have still had.
Oh jeez.
All right, mark yourself.
Not salty or anything.
You're dead in 6 days.
Great.
We see flames coming off of you. Who's next?
I think me, please.
Take the shot.
Yes.
No.
You.
Stan is very, very angry.
Understandable.
It's a
Okay.
roundup situation.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
Good. Good.
Yep.
I'll take it.
First arrow damages it. You see it again, not as much as it should, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell by the flame spurts.
I'm just
And
just
its
hitting it
reaction.
with everything I've got.
Yep.
If nothing else, I can pull it away from Osric, which is not at all what I want, but you know. Plinkety, plinkety, plinkety.
Plink,
Yep, you
plink.
plink with both. Vasilla Silva. This thing is standing over Osric, and it's getting plinked by Sten, and you see its attention turning to Sten.
I'm going to run up, grab Rustbite, and two-handed swing this thing at its leg.
Wow.
Is there look at Rustbite, is there any type of strength requirement?
Oops,
Yeah.
sorry. I don't think so.
Just double check it for me.
Pop that there. Let's
It's a heavy weapon.
Is it heavy?
It
Yeah.
is heavy.
All right, so let's look up heavy
but I
real
don't-
quick. See if there's a requirement there.
Heavy items 37. Heavy items just counts as 2 regular items.
Okay.
All right.
I know you can actually swing a heavy weapon to like build up steam, but I never think to do it.
So let's very quickly here do a little bit of bookkeeping. Let me grab Rustbite. You now have Rustbite. Pull it out of I'll pull it out of that, and you'll have you equip it. It is now equipped. You should see it in combat.
Yep, I do, and I can't run very fast because I'm over my.
So your fast action is going to get within close range, arm's length of this thing. So that's your fast, and your slow is giving old Rustbite a swing.
Yep. Do I need to spend any time grabbing up Rustbite?
Mm-mm.
Grabbing it.
Don't forget to change the
I'll-
artifact.
Actually,
item.
give me a move roll, and you can swing it this turn. That's a good point. You are going to have to kind of pick it up.
Move. Roll.
Have the benefit of it being already out.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're able to lift it up and kind of in the upswing off the
Priscilla.
ground, right?
Alright, so I go, and it's D10 against this kind of bad guy.
Yep.
I'm not good at this. I really should just I probably should bury this to you, Silva. That would have been a much smarter.
Yeah, but this is dramatic, and I like
It's
it.
super cool. Yes.
I'm going to.
Ooh.
That's than I got.
Gonna push it.
I only have 2 strength. That will knock me out immediately
Ooh.
if I fail again.
Well, no,
you
because
can't.
the other success is on the strength, so it won't kill you. It cannot kill you.
You can't.
It
Uh,
cannot knock you out because
It's
one
not
of those
gonna
is
roll.
locked
It's not going to
in.
re-roll your success.
So I could harm Rustbite.
That you could do.
You could harm Rustbite, but you could also get potentially 3 more successes on the artifact. Or-
Yeah, we're just gonna
3.
push. They just blew up Osric.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! Incredible.
You come up, and this thing
You kill this
is,
thing,
is
we are never going to hear the end of this.
bringing its hand
Correct.
down. Rustbite comes up, and you're close. You're right under it, and it comes up and it cuts up on its chest, and a large chunk comes off of it, and a fire plume shoots from it towards your head to the point where you have to come down like this as it fires, and it stumbles. It's stumbling back. And it is enraged and looking and focused completely on you. Silva?
I'm gonna join the fray. I'm gonna move up. I don't have to get as close because I have a longer weapon.
That's your
and
fast
I'm
action?
going to stab it at near range with my trident.
Finish him.
God, that'd be hilarious. Modifiers, we're just rolling and seeing what happens. That is terrible.
Huh.
I'm gonna push it. Just see what happens. Ow, but
Natural.
How do you attack with this thing?
I think she just kind of lunges forward, and like I think the damage is just like heat blowback as she's like stabbing in with this trident into the trying to hit the center mass of this thing.
After getting hit by Vasilla, it's weak, right? You can see it trying to get centered so that it can have any type of stability enough to burst again and breathe. And it's going to breathe all over Vasilla. It's going to burn through her. You're now in its line of sight. It is angry. The trident comes in where the plume is bursting that Vasilla opened with Rustbite. Where you're holding the trident, you can feel the heat come through the conductive metal of this trident to the point where you have to pull your forward hand off of it. It's so hot. The fire becomes too much and just bursts through all the cracks. The explosion throws both you and Vasilla to the ground. Then there's just as the fire goes out. Red hot coals are scattered all over the ground of this clearing.
Whew.
I
Wait, a
immediate-
trident.
I immediately run over and attempt to use my non-existent first aid skills on Osric.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
Yeah, whoa.
Damn fine blow. Knew we kept you around for a reason.
That was incredibly valiant, Vasilla.
I don't acknowledge the compliment
Mm.
at all, and I mean go get the cot out.
Mhm.
Sten, start stripping his armor.
I start doing that.
What is the result of what happens to Rustbite? I forgot when you kill something.
So
Taking empathy damage, I
you
think,
would
right?
take an empathy damage if you broke them with Rustbite.
I didn't break.
Oh, which you did
Nope.
not do.
Yeah, let's go.
it.
Let's
We
go.
found the secret.
Adam. Backup trident.
Vasilla calls for a cot.
We'll absolutely go fetch whatever we have to set up our boy Osric to get healed up.
Ostrich, you're conscious. You just can't move, and you're hurting.
Yeah, I imagine he's grumbling and groaning and rolling around, writhing in pain.
I get the quickest nerve killer that I can get into his body into him.
Let's do the healing roll.
Yep.
Don't forget I gave you bandages a while ago, so you've got a +1 for heals.
Does that give me a gear bonus?
Yep, that is a gear bonus for that.
Nice.
This will get rid
How
of that
much gear
critical
bonus?
injury.
Just one.
Oh, bandages. I see. Right there. Light.
We have to pick one or the other, right?
Then one's good enough, I think we've decided. Or does it like cut down time or something? I don't
He's going to be
remember.
able to. So you clear that. You clear the critical injury, I believe, and then you're
think
going to be able to rest to restore. Am I right?
Yes. The
Yeah, because the thing said
so
basically until
he-
you're healed or you die.
so he
Yeah.
needs to be healed or he would die, right?
Right, which is
so
dumb.
healing empathy recovery person, blah blah blah.
You remain unconscious until you die or are healed.
Ah,
Specifically what it says.
so once you heal me, then I am no longer unconscious, and it's fine.
A failed roll at this point could mean the end for your patient, so be careful. Read more about critical injury. So I had to succeed on that or you die.
Oh God.
No pressure.
Which I did. But
good
other
job.
than that, it's just because his critical injury wasn't like
Broken
broken arm for
ribs.
3
Yeah.
days, whatever, right? And all that.
So you're tending to Osric. Silva went in and got a cot. Sten, you're watching Groomhilder run back to the tomb.
I let her. I could not care less.
At this point.
She vanishes
Mm-hmm.
down the hole.
Well then.
I'm gonna start like walking around and kicking these rocks away, just in case it has any thoughts about reforming. Not that it,
And you're watching them naturally start to cool, Sten, as you do that. As if someone spilled a barrel of charcoal onto the
Mhm.
ground.
Are you able to fix Rustbite, Silva, or do you not have forge skills?
Yeah, I'm not a
think so.
blacksmith or anything.
Yeah, I knew that Aldrich did, but
Yeah,
did
we'll have to
you
find
carry
an
that
actual
forward?
blacksmith.
And do me a favor, Vasilla, just remove Rustbite, and then your copy of Rustbite, Jim, just mark it as damaged.
Oh yeah, I have to do that. Let's see.
And I'll put away after he's taken care of enough to be like resting calmly. I'll go and get my flute and put it away, which I just like dropped on the ground to
Mhm.
go and get it.
I don't like that flute.
Yeah.
What on earth was that?
Ghost Child's flute. Does that help?
I
The knowledge drop.
suppose it was a beautiful elven song.
Yeah. It plays beautifully, but it makes Sten go crazier. And
I would assume that's what overcame me as well.
no.
Strangeness all around.
Yeah. Well, if we ever need to walk through walls, it does that too. So keep that in mind.
Well, they just fought a fire demon. I don't know what I really expected, honestly.
You did well. Demons are scary.
Would say you did quite well as well.
Well, it's not our first one.
Still mighty brave of
Huh.
both of you.
You hear a cry come from the hole. I need help! Somebody help me!
Silva.
I suppose I'll go help our friend.
I'll walk down to the bottom of the stairs and look.
Maybe
Okay,
I will-
I need
I'll
I'm gonna
commit
need
to that.
light. I need light of some sort.
All right.
Does anyone have a torch I can
I
borrow?
will light my last torch.
Thank you.
I have torches. Can
Still
I get up?
Ostrix torches.
no.
I'm gonna have you in the cot for a little bit.
I think Vasila's not going to let you get up.
Correct.
You know how this goes.
It's
So
fine.
you are still broken. You still have 0 strength.
Wait,
you just
so-
aren't going to die.
I thought that we determined that because of the nature of this one, you didn't have to treat this as a critical. You had to heal me.
So,
you
save a
remove-
life. The most important application of healing is giving first aid and saving the life of a fallen comrade who has suffered a critical injury. So you're still at 0 strength.
Yeah,
Right, but-
I think it is still technically considered a critical injury. It's just an other critical.
This critical
injury.
has no healing time, right?
Yeah.
It has the time limit is D6 days, but it does not have a healing time.
All right. Either way, it's fine. All right. If I'm still broken, I'm still broken.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's-
Well, yeah, I
Easy
think you
peasy.
still have 0 of strength. You just aren't critically injured and die.
Gotcha.
Is
I
my,
lit my last
my
torch.
interpretation of the rules.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll go with
figure-
that.
Silva and Sten with a torch go down the steps. You get to the base of the steps. Braziers are unlit.
Good.
The only light is coming from your torch. You don't see her.
She fell down the hole, didn't she?
I need help! Comes from the hole.
What have
Why
you done?
should we?
Sten, please. I understand. I immediately just go to grab my rope.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, down there.
So as you look down there, she's got this big book in one hand. She goes, "Take the book!"
All right. I grab the book. It's hefty. Hefty tome.
Immediately, as soon as you take the book, she's trying to hand you some scrolls.
I only have 2 hands. Come on now. I make a pile, and just whatever she hands me, I'm just piling off to the side.
Question mark dice.
These cursed books.
Could be anything.
Give me a
These are
book.
yours, she yells. And she's handing you a bag.
Oh, okay.
It's heavy.
Grab the bag.
You pull it out, and the top of it's not completely closed. It's kind of a burlap bag. You look in, and it's a lot of silver. Pure large silver coins. We'll count it later.
Go ahead
In
and
fact-
take care of that, Sten.
We'll count it just a week from now. We're going back to back weeks here. We're gonna go to credits. We'll be right back.
Broken hearts embrace they came, a band of heroes bold. Stand the hunter Vasilfer, with tales of glory told. Osric with his mighty blade, rustlight of demonic hue, and Silver half-elf merchant king. Their journey did ensue. Silver trades and secrets hold a smile upon her face, while Osric swings his fearsome sword in battle's fierce embrace. Through Raven's land they wander in search of ancient stones, to free the land from darkness where evil's a terror roams. With courage as their banner and hearts forever true, they seek the light within the night, their quest for me and you. Sten the hunter tracks the beast with arrows swift and sure. Vasila sings of battles past, her voice a magic cure. In ancient halls where echoes dwell, they found a mystic sign. The stones of elves, a guiding light, within their hearts align. But Zaitera with eyes of fire, her wrath upon them fell. Yet undeterred they pressed ahead through fire, storm and spell.
Cool.
So, as usual, Coda's the hero we need. He explains. I'm going to read it because it's kind of. No, you can read the whole thing. So for those of you watching, just read Coda's explanation on the healing. I'll start real quick. I have to say, when I saw all of those white dice being rolled by this demon, like the first one was a whiff, the second one was a whiff, and I'm like, I don't think this third one's going to be good. Even before I rolled it. And when I was staring at how much health this thing had left, immediately I said to myself, Rustbite is now out of the picture. So now we're half damage at best. I think as much, if not more than ever, I was sitting here as the GM going, this could be it. I thought this could be it. I'm very happy it wasn't. Let's start with you, Nate. Thoughts, stars, and wishes. Oh, by the way, all of this because of a GD random encounter.
Right.
Welcome
Ugh.
to Forbidden Lands.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, I feel like I'm not going to be alone in saying stars to Dave for just diving in and saying I'm picking up the sword where Osric left off and finishing the job. Beautiful moment. We had a discussion in the during the credits about that, where like I was thinking about doing that, but I didn't feel like I had the context for it. And when Dave said it, I was just like, cool, good, excellent. I had the same thought with the scepter as well at the start of the combat. I was like, man, like as a player, I want to grab the scepter and use it, but like my character has no concept for that yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like now she has concept for all of these things, and it can now be part of that conversation, but she wasn't inducted into that yet. So that's exciting for the future and good moments all around. And then overall star to Jim for forcing the issue, being the one who said, nah, we're pushing the button. We're going to see what happens. Which is, it's good to have. It's good to have someone who's willing to do that. And you know, it goes around the table who's willing to push the button time to time.
Here's the thing for me real quick is that Harry on YouTube is saying Rustbite MVP.
Not
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Not wrong.
And that's even with Jim whiffing those rolls and just like one hit. But that's, I mean, was more than we were doing with anything else. Yeah.
In the heat of the combat, Nate, had you grabbed the scepter or Rustbite, I wouldn't have protested it. And I love that you as a player knew that wasn't the right play and didn't make sense for your character. And I think about how great we ended up as a result. Could have also killed everybody.
That's true.
But either way, I think it's a bit of a testament and a reminder to everybody, like keep thinking what Silva would do, not what Nate would do, not what's the best thing to do through that. So I very much appreciate that. What are you wishing for next week?
Man, I'm wishing to see how much silver's in that bag. We
You
got
go ahead
that
and-
bag, boys.
Go ahead
We
and
gotta
add
live enough to go somewhere to
Silva, add
spend it.
15 silver to
Woo!
your inventory.
Woo,
Dave,
woo, woo.
thoughts, stars, and wishes.
So I think I gotta go. It was a good time. It was fun all around. I enjoy the characterization of our dwarven character. It's fun to see kind of me sometimes, like you know how I play Vasilla, but like back mirrored, which is fun in its way. I like the little moment where I tried to put where Vasilla, I felt like it was pushing Osric to be like, "What the fuck, dude?" And I think that Osric had like a good like inside knowing what we know about Osric. I think like Jim had a good reason, like because Osric's not going to leave someone behind to get murdered by this shit by themselves, right? And that fits to the backstory as he's discussed it and everything. So I just like that little moment. I felt like it was like, yeah, none of this makes sense. Like this is dumb. This is like strategically stupid, but people do strategically stupid things, and I like that a lot.
It definitely made sense to me, Dave, that Osric could believe I'm not getting this dog off this meat wagon. Like that this woman is going to insist. And what are we going to do? Walk away? And not leave her. So I believed it too. What are you wishing for next week?
So I'm interested in what's in the books. So I know that and I think the kind of throwdown with Brynhilde is going to be like interesting over the knowledge, but to me, to Vasil at least, the reason why we came here is because we need to know how to kill demons, like major demons. And it's interesting that I think she's figuring out there's levels of demons. Like there's like the little fox demon guy who is like a chump, right, in the demon world. And there's like a fire rock demon, right? And then there was like the lady who trades for faces level demon. And there's like Rustbite couldn't touch her, right? So I think that's starting to be
Yeah, there's those little ghoul demons that were in the Stone Loom mines that you
Stone Loom
encountered a
mines,
few
right?
times.
And
Yeah.
there's like half demons, right? There's like the boar, and I
Yeah,
feel
the
like we fought
creature's
something
made
like
demon.
the priest, the reason why we hate the Iron Guard,
Mhm,
or at least the
mhm.
Rust Brothers, right? I think do we fight with the Minotaur was in this campaign, yeah. So we
Yep,
fought a
Yep.
Minotaur
mhm.
too, and that was another like half demon beast kind of thing. So I think he's trying to figure out that there's like, not all of them are created equal. So anyway, that's what I think next week or 2 weeks, whatever we play again will be is like
No, next week.
Next week.
next week is
Yeah, because this is the pinch hit. This was supposed to be Brindlewood Bay
Yeah.
originally, and the Brindlewood Bay crew couldn't play, so you guys pinched hit and came in. Then our regular scheduled one is next week, so I'm super
Yeah.
excited about that.
So I
Nice.
think that'll be interesting. Being like, she's gonna be like, no, these are mine, and we're gonna be like, wrong. And I'll be
It's like, but you're in a hole now.
Which close her in.
Oh,
we're not that mean, but we will be like I'm taking these and like. No.
On the other hand, like if we can use this as leverage to get her into the mine, that might be worth our time. Because that was kind of the whole thing. Is like if we can do this for her, maybe she becomes an asset in the mines.
Right.
There was a demon we weren't expecting, but
well, and
has up to the job, I suppose.
we've
think we
learned
also need to find
that
more
she's
magic
very
markers.
inspiring to Osric.
Yeah, not to his actual roles, to his ability to do
Right.
like useful stuff, but
Just the ability to push buttons.
I do think we need to, as a group, think of like go and find lore about magic stuff, magic weapons, right? The fact that now we only have one that can fight, like we only have one magic weapon that hurts things, right? And then the
Yeah.
scepter kind of, but like not in the same consistent way,
Yeah,
right?
it can
It's
do
like,
one big hit.
like it's clearly we need to do something. So
Jim, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
So I think one of my thoughts was that as I rolled my third roll for Rustbite, I thought, this could start to go in the right direction, right? Like the exact opposite of your thought, right? I'm rolling, 8 dice, and one of them's a D10.
A D10.
Like
Do.
like exactly like, okay, I had a bad roll. Okay, I had a bad roll. I got another point of strength, so I get to die back. Like I just like it's gonna come around, and it'll be fine, right? One big swing, and this could be over, right? And fortunately, when there's only one bad guy, right, a point of empathy damage is not the end of the world, right? I'll knock him out, and we'll figure it out from there. But alas, it was not to be.
Let's go gambling meme.
So
Oh, dang it.
I also think that part of the reason that Osric is doing these things that are irrational is that Osric is struggling with his dark secret, which is that once he broke, was overcome by fear and fled, and men depending on him died. So I think that this especially becomes a reason for him to stay and do things that might otherwise be like, well, no, I'm going to leave. And I thought about that a little bit as the Rust Brothers, wiped out our zombie, the zombie jesters, but they were like zombie jesters, like they don't really count. I think had the people been there, then it could have been a different discussion.
Yeah.
I think like star moments, obviously Vasila's moment was a huge star where she got to rip Rustbite, and I think do all of that big giant splash of damage and super cool things. I think that Sten's moment of, what, fine, if she's causing this problem and you're going to stay here for her, I'm going to make her stop doing this. I'm just gonna plunk her with an arrow in the head. I don't want to kill her. I just want her to, drop and stop touching things.
Stop
Things are getting
dropping
worse.
shuttles.
Things are
Yes.
No
getting
more
worse.
touchy.
Stop touching stuff.
Stop it.
As far as wishes, I think, uh, I think that the books and what will be in them will be interesting. I think that learning, more about if there's anything, to learn around fire magic or anything in these books, I think that would be great. Uh, I also still want to get back to the mine, and it seems like this might be our touch point to sort of make that U-turn and head back. We'll rest up a day here, and then we'll travel back a day, and then we'll finally head back into the mines of doom to try to figure out this next ruby. So yeah, I think that's all exciting stuff.
Brion.
Sir, I had a blast. This is it was very close, obviously, right up until the end, but it's kind of nice to have a win
Yeah.
after a couple sessions where we got pretty beat up.
Pretty big win too.
Yeah, no, I feel good about this one.
By far the biggest demon that you've squared up against, not counting
and,
the woman.
and defeated. Yeah.
Yep.
And defeated. Important caveat.
Right, exactly. So yeah, no, that was a tremendous amount of fun. My star, I mean, I think it has to split between, everybody picking up their random melee weapons and charging in while I stand safely in the back and pluck arrows at it. Which is admittedly my job, but
Know your role.
it was pretty impressive to see everybody else stepping up when first man went down. So that was great. And as far as wishes go, yes, I want to see if there's anything cool in here about fighting demons or otherwise dealing with stuff. I'm also really looking forward to sort of having it out with Grunhilde after after we recover this, because Sten hasn't gotten to really yell at anybody in a while, and he is very ready.
He's got some built up
I have opinions that I'm going to share.
All right. Any plans on Saturday, Brian?
Yes, in fact, we will be returning to the land of eternal lies, where our heroes go traipsing off into the Yucatan jungle, where nothing bad or unnatural will happen to them.
Yeah, if you have not watching our Trail of Cthulhu game on the channel, highly recommend it. We've got an incredible cast. Brian is killing it as the keeper. I can't wait.
Anybody yet? Hush.
I cannot wait for Saturday. Next week is 4 games in 1 week.
Woof.
So we have got on Sunday, we've got public access, likely the last episode of public access. On Tuesday is the reschedule of Brindlewood Bay. So next Tuesday, we're doing Brindlewood Bay. Back to Forbidden Lands on Thursday. And then on Saturday, the 27th, we return to Shiver, the Gothic Shiver game that we're running and having a blast with. I get to see everybody next week here at this table, so it makes me super happy. Thanks to everybody who's watching. Coda, big shout out to you. It helps a ton to have somebody helping us out as we play. So we're not just breaking out books and breaking the rhythm. So that's a huge help. See everybody soon.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.